You guys figured it out.
We figured it out.
Figured it out. Millions of dollars in defense, in offense. They figured out, because you know why? They got street smart. And they figured out what Dirty Higgins did.
Do you think Karen Reed was innocent, or you think she got away with it?
I think she got away with it.
Do you?
Yeah, she did do it.
You think she hit him and drove off?
Yeah.
And you think 11 people left the house that night and no one's seen his body in the snow?
Exactly. I think she got in an argument with him. She was having an affair. I think everybody's lying. No, she did do it. No, she did do it. Yeah. No, she did do it. I think everybody's lying. Yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate your time. And what's your name?
Chloe.
Chloe. What?
Chloe.
Her name is Chloe. God damn, I can't make this up. Chloe looked like the dog, Chloe? The one that bit him. Do you know the dog?
Yeah, the dog's name was Chloe. Yeah, the dog's name was Chloe. Yes. I'm not the dog. I'm not the dog.
I didn't mean it like that, though, sweetie. I just thought it was crazy. You got to admit, that's kind of funny. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend,
Thank
okay,
you,
girl?
you too.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, Wall of Sin, y'all. Yeah. I mean, we treat this thing like art, you know what I'm saying? Just painting that picture, drawing inspiration. Woo! Welcome to our Wall of Sin. Yeah, Baba, what up? Check one, JFK, y'all.
Mic check to the gods.
I'm a nightmare, show me a Cody that road. Ride or die, why? He
What?
low-key told. Take care of yourself, that's the only code.
Let's go.
When the feds take over, they
What?
mostly fold.
Let's
Dropped
go.
my first video back in 91, 15 years old. Had to find the love. I paid my dues, this is in memory of. Writing on this wall of sin, you gon' remember us. Lost in mind 95 until the present. Can't lie to God, so we pray to the heavens. That kid named Elliot on 90.
On 95 Pleasant, he can't think straight. He's dealing with depression.
Baby girl, see this got a crib on Bayview. Got 2 kids now, should've stayed in school. Baby daddy raps, wants to play the booth. Faking the grind, he never paid his dues. Sober houses in the city trading pills. Rather cop Adderall than pay his bills. Fetty lace, feds tracing the kill. Everybody a snitch now, chasing a deal. Carbon element with the orange windows. Middleton sucks
With the orange jail clothes, side of green sheet. What?
Sitting in a cell, 2 colors always show. Put a mural up on me, can't define the pain. Courthouse basements, 13 be in the rain. Ran from DYS, no sneakers, hop the train. No tokens, nah, I don't rock with it.
Message from the flight deck, message from the flight deck. About to take you up to 39,000 feet. What are we doing tonight? I know it's been rough, Chad. I know it's been rough. I know there's been so much talk and so much yap and so much inconsistency. But you know what? Today's a new day. It's a new night. It's early. It's a different vibe, a different energy. I'm going to take you up to 39,000 feet. Now, remember one thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you got luggage right now, put that up in the overhead compartment. And if you got a carry-on, make sure you put it underneath your seat. But before you throw it underneath your seat, if you got some Cliff Bars, some Hershey Kisses, or some Nips, or a vape, or whatever the fuck your vice might be, take that shit out now, put your trays up, because we about to take it up to 39,000. Let's go. And tonight, you know, I got on the panel my man with the master plan. I got Kevby Kev 781 with me.
What up? What up?
Always representing. And tonight we're going to talk about Kelsey Fitzsimmons. And tonight, who joins us coming to the stage, a guy who got insight, a guy who spent a lot of nights, a lot of days, should I say, a lot of days in the law library. This guy's a very, very brilliant man, very smart man. He's from Lynn. Would you believe it? He goes by the name of Jimmy T, and he's with us tonight. What up, Jimmy T?
What's going on, my man?
What's happening, brother?
What up, Jimmy?
What's up, Kevin? How you doing, man?
Good, brother.
Jimmy,
Fight.
there's a lot of stuff going on in the Commonwealth. There's a cat named Francis Jigalotti, 7 cops on his neck, screaming, "I can't breathe." And they just stay on top of him right around the corner in North Andover, right? That's not too
Yeah,
far from where
wild.
that went down.
Yeah,
Kelsey
crazy, man.
Fitzsimmons.
What they did to him.
Can you give a little insight on the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, how the court system is? If you could put it into words, like how do you see it? Like how would you explain it if you could? I know that might be a tough question, but how can you explain it if you could?
Jesus. Put me on the spot there. Ruthless. They're ruthless, man. They do whatever they can. They do whatever they have to do to get you, man. Basically, they don't play fair. We all witnessed it with Karen. So I mean, it's just a bunch of You got to have a good lawyer, man, to navigate the Massachusetts trial courts, bro. Or you just use my language. You're screwed. You know,
Right.
it's a bad place. Bad place, man. No one
What
wants
about
an open case with them.
Essex County? You're from Lynn, Mass. These two
Yeah.
cases, they're both from Essex County. So where's the Superior Courthouses? Could you tell the people where the Superior Courthouses are at, where Kelsey and Francis's family is going to be fighting for the civil, and where Kelsey right now is fighting for her life? Where are them courts located?
So they have the New Salem Superior. Well, it's new to us. Excuse me, it's new to us. But they got a huge, uh, fairly new Superior Courthouse, District Courthouse, all in one. That's over in Salem, Massachusetts. And then they got Lawrence Superior. They have Lawrence District Court, and then they have Lawrence Superior. And I think Kelsey's in Salem right now, but they like to hold trials in Lawrence Superior. I went to trial in Lawrence Superior back in the year 2000. So
What was that
type
experience like?
terrible, man. Terrible. You think you're gonna win. There's a reason why you go to trial, you know. You think you're gonna win, and then and it just goes south. You think your lawyer's doing a good job. You think he might have a chance, and then boom, that jury comes back guilty, and then it's like, wow, you know.
So did you go
So
all the way to trial? Did you end up signing a green sheet?
I went all the way to trial, man. 12 jurors, all the way to trial. Co-defendant testified against me.
God damn.
Yeah, got found guilty. They postponed the sentencing for like a month. I faced anywhere up to armed robbery while masked is you have to get a minimum of 5 years, and you can get up to life. You don't usually get life in Massachusetts unless it's a crazy, crazy armed robbery and you got a really bad record and probably a history of them. But I didn't have a good record going in, though. You know that. So I ended up getting 10 years
And
for
how
that
did
one.
you end up? Now you didn't end up doing that 10 years, right?
Yeah, I did. I did from 1998 to 2006 straight.
Oh man, but the recent, the one that
I
you
did
came
8 years
home
straight.
recent before
Oh, the recent one.
you ended up going to the law library and finding out some things, tweaking your time, right? If I'm
No, no,
correct.
no, no. So what happened with my first robbery case when I was younger in my 20s? I went all the way to trial. Then I went through the appellate court by myself. I did my own briefs, my own oral arguments. Lost, of course, and then I came up for parole, and I ended up getting parole like 8 years later. But the last one, which is when I actually turned my life around, was in 2017, and it was another armed robbery, and I ended up getting a 4.5 to 6 for that one, but it wasn't as bad as it was kind of These days they have like social workers that come and see you, and they like do a complete background on your whole childhood, and they like take a lot of things into account where last time they didn't. And anyway, and I pleaded guilty on this one, so they went a lot lighter on me, and I only got 6 years. But um, I ended up doing right when I got to Walpole, they had made the good time upstate 15 days a month, so you're only like doing half your time. If you get all your good time that you can do all your programs and everything, you get 15 days. And then I got parole. So I was out on 6 years. I was out in almost like 3.5 years.
So that's when
So
I see you
I've been out since 2020. Yeah. We did that video on DYS
DYS.
Untold in 2020. That was 5 years ago. Imagine that.
That's crazy, bro.
Wow. It flies, man. Yeah. And I've been out since doing just
And
doing the right thing, working.
congratulations. Is this the longest
Yeah. Thank
time
you.
you've been out?
Longest time I ever been out doing the right thing. Yeah. Like not even getting a traffic ticket. Yeah. Longest time. Yeah.
Congratulations again, man. Everybody put
Yeah.
your ones
Yeah.
up in the chat for Jimmy, man. Jimmy had a rough
What's
childhood.
up?
Ones up in the chat for Jimmy T, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost. So, what was growing up? I know your backstory, but for the people, if you don't mind, and you don't have to, get too deep, but whatever you're willing to share, what was like growing up, man? What was it like, bro?
Nah, growing up was tough, man. We grew up in Lynn. We were kids together, so I hung around with like the school skippers and stuff in junior high, and went to the worst junior high in Lynn. So that didn't pan out well. And then I got into like we started with stealing stealing candy bars, and then it goes to bikes, and then it goes to mopeds, and then it goes to cars and DYS and DSS. My mother just had no control of me. So I
None.
ended up in all kinds of foster homes and DSS, and then finally DYS when I was 12. Spent a couple years in Rosendale as a little kid, and
Now, for the people, let me just stop you right there. I'm sorry, Jimmy. For the
yeah,
people, what is Rosendale? What exactly is that? And
well,
DYS.
I say it all the time. It's like back when we were younger, it was like the Walpole State Prison of DYS. Like it was the most secure, toughest place that you want to. You don't want to go to Rosendale 14 years old like I did during the Charles Stewart phase.
What was that like?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of tension. It was me and Webster and Derek Capozzi were the only three white kids on the entire unit. I mean, and there's like 30 kids to a unit, so and but we all got along. We weren't colorblind, and they knew that we weren't colorblind, and neither were they really. So, but it was tough to watch even those kids had tough lives. Those were their uncles. I was with Toot Bennett is Willie Bennett's nephew. I was with Willie Bennett's nephew in the day room in Rosendale while they were harassing his uncle, and Charles Stewart was framing his uncle for that murder. So I know even all these years later, I'm in touch with Toot, and it was just it was wild back then, man. It was wild to go through, see that on the front page, and then hear a kid say that's my uncle, you
Mm.
know, and the kid's your boy, your boys, you guys are 14 years old going through it, so you know we all got along. We all had rough lives, rough childhoods, and we got along, man. There was fights and shit, it was crazy if you didn't act right, but we were schooled from young ages how to act there, so I was all right, but it was
Yeah,
tough.
you had a rough childhood for sure, Jimmy, man. You had a lot rougher than a lot of people for sure. I was there. I seen it. Kevy Kev, you got anything to ask Jimmy? Got any questions? I know you got some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I mean, how do you think the DYS system and like we talk about like the forestry camps and people might know about them and the Brockton Y, different facilities like you had NFI out in Middleton, Danvers area. Um,
Yeah, been through
not
them all, man.
you know I mean,
Yeah, you have. You've been 100%.
Yeah, you know I have. Yeah.
100%.
Brockton Y was they used to take us. I left there. They used to take us down to the gym. They used to handcuff the doors shut. You know
They had, yeah.
the double doors, and
Mm-hmm.
they used to give us our sneakers to go down to the gym, man.
Yeah.
Me and
And they had,
Derek booted that door right open. We were gone.
yeah, that less Saj, bro, in Brockton Y.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Then they had Westfield. Westfield was horrible too. The old one. I was at the old one and the new one, but the old one was like a dungeon, man. Westboro, Westfield.
Yeah.
The bad one. Challenge over on Morton Street.
Challenge. Yeah. Right
Challenge,
across
JRI. You
JRI
know?
across the street from Jackson Station, right? Was it across the
Yeah,
street, the orange
yeah.
line?
No, that was Hillside. That was
Oh,
Hillside.
Hillside. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I was at Hillside too, man. Yeah. That was. I don't think there was a DYS. I wasn't. Well, let me correct that. I didn't go to forestry camp. Like I stopped going to like the NFIs and the Lawrence Keys and
Oh yeah,
some
they
of our
wasn't.
mentors when I was like 13.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
were.
we were
They
like
were
14.
no
They
shelter
stopped
camp.
putting us there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
we would
shelter
have
camps
stayed
with
there,
you.
man. We were out of there. There was a car missing in a half hour after I was put there.
yeah,
Ah, God damn.
and a lot of
No.
and some of these facilities, you could run.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they were open door. And let's
Yep.
be clear, Rosendale on Canterbury Road in Rosy and Rosendale is
yeah,
still there. The Judge Conley Youth
yeah.
Center is still
Judge
there.
Conley. Yep.
It's been there now for, I mean, it was 60 when we did DYS Untold. I think it was 65 years. So now it's 70 years. It's been there, still in business, still housing
Crazy.
juveniles. Nothing changed. And it just gives you some insight that the more, a lot of things change. But then again, there's a lot of things that don't change. Like one of them is life, one of them is death, one of them is, loyalty and respect, protect your family,
Yeah.
morals. You look up in the sky, airplanes don't change. Like there's just some shit that don't change.
It
And
never changes.
one thing that don't change is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts because of these old laws. Now, speaking of the laws in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Kelsey Fitzsimmons, a cop, Jimmy, a police
Yeah.
officer, used to be
Jesus,
a CO,
man.
allegedly picks up this case, right? Turns a gun
Yeah.
on, then they don't even indict her. Do you know like the ins and outs? They don't indict her on it. I mean, they did indict her, but they only indict her on assault and battery. Was that it?
They say, the old saying, they can indict a ham sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
He something was said or something was testified to by one of the witnesses that the grand jury didn't believe it was first attempted murder. So they didn't indict her on the attempted murder. That was a big loss for the DA because her sentencing like her penalties are so far less. I think but listen, man, 2 years is a long time for that girl. She's a CO, former CO.
Mm-hmm.
She was a freshmouth CO, so in
Was
Middleton,
she?
I remember. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, she had a fresh mouth. She wasn't cool at all when she was in the
So
jail.
hold
Then
on.
she
Breaking
became
news. Hold on. Breaking news. So
yeah,
Jimmy T, when you was in Middleton, Kelsey Fitzsimmons was a CO in there,
yeah, she was a CO there. Yeah.
and you said she
I mean,
had a
I
fresh.
don't know
She
her.
had a
I don't
fresh
know her.
mouth.
No. Yeah, I don't know her, but she definitely wasn't cool. You know what I mean? But that
God
doesn't
damn.
change. That doesn't change
Right.
how I feel for her now. Like that doesn't make
Yeah.
me like I feel bad for the girl now. I don't think she pointed the gun at the cop, first of all.
Right.
And I don't like to see her suffer and how she's suffering. I don't like that, man. Even though she might not have gave you the extra roll of toilet paper, and she might have made you fix your uniform when you're standing in line at meds or whatever. She don't deserve to be where she is, man. But that ain't cool, man. I
No.
hope Brado gets her out on that 211-3.
So exactly.
Let's
Now
pray.
let's talk about that. What the heck is a 211-3, Jimmy? Break it down.
So all right, so in Massachusetts we have what's called, so the levels of the court system that it goes is it goes district court, then it goes superior court, and then it goes district court, superior court, and then it goes appellate court, and then it goes SJC, and then after the SJC, here's whatever issues you have. Usually in a criminal case, that means it ends right there. And if it's a criminal case, you can go up to your federal level at that point. But Where Kelsey's at is what Bradle just did for her is what's called it's called Massachusetts General Law Chapter 211 Section 3. It's when so they have authority over all the judges and all the decisions in Massachusetts inferior courts, meaning district court and superior court. And when you have a gripe with a judge in the superior court at this level that she had with that lady that was acting crazy, so
Yeah,
then you
well,
go to this S, you skip right over it gives you an avenue to skip right over the appellate court and go to a single justice of the appellate court. That means one judge takes the briefs, that motion that everybody was talking about that Tim Bradle wrote in Bettero. I mean in Marsha Clark, I think it is.
Coakley.
Marsha Clark. Where'd I get that? That's
It's
OJ.
all right.
But
No,
but Martha Coakley,
that is OJ.
the
God damn.
motion that they submitted to the single justice of the SJC, that judge can either kick it back down for that court to have a new hearing and set, which she's gonna, that's what's gonna happen. I know that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna either kick it back to that judge, or they're gonna instant release her
But all right,
forthwith.
so what do you mean? They're gonna kick it back to what judge? The original Superior Court judge?
Well, scratch that. Bradle's asking, they could kick it back to the original judge, but Bradle's asking that it be assigned to another judge. So either it could be
But that
assigned,
would
it could
just
be,
be, but that would just be for the bail hearing, not because now once you get assigned, now be clear, in the state of Massachusetts, once you have a judge on the case, isn't that the judge who stays the whole
no,
time?
no,
No.
no. That was so Karen Reed. So big murder cases, yeah, usually like a judge will take it and stick with it.
Okay.
Um, but like right, but Kelsey's charges really, like as a whole in the superior court right now, is like a drop in the bucket. You know how many people are going to court right now for assault with intent to kill, or assault with a firearm? There's so
Mhm.
many. So it's not like a big case, and any judge could end up with it. So they'll kick. So because that judge made the decision, it should go back to her. But Bradle's asking that it go back to another judge. In other words, he's saying she wasn't fair, she can't be fair, and it's not fair to go back in front of her. So either release her or kick it back to another judge. But there's SJC could send it back to her with instructions to release her, to
Now you
amend
said
the alcohol testing and release her.
uh, so you said a word called forthwith. What exactly does that mean?
This means right now, today.
Mm.
It,
So
it
you think that's
means
gonna happen? You think that's gonna happen?
I do. I think one of these days soon we're gonna, because the
She got court
SJC's act
tomorrow.
the SJC's act quick on us. So her having court tomorrow has nothing to do with that what the
With the
SJC is
SJC.
doing.
She's going to court what in Superior just for the case. So she's getting
Yeah, she
tomorrow
probably won't even
she's
go.
getting
She probably
she's
won't even
not
go
even
to
going to go.
court.
But
No,
technically she could get thrown in a sheriff's van at 5 a.m. tomorrow.
she could. If Brado wants her to go, she could go. Yeah, yeah. But it'd be better for her to just sit where she is, because I think they're just gonna release her anyways. Unless the judge has a change of heart and Bradle knows it, then he'll have her go to court. But usually, once your case hits superior court, you don't go to court unless you're pleading guilty, a lobby conference, trial. Like they'll just keep, they won't even send them it. They'll just keep not taking you, and your lawyer will tell
Mhm.
you what happened usually, you know. Or these days
Right.
they have it on Zoom, so
Right. That's
you
crazy,
know
right?
a lot of times they have it on Zoom. But I truly believe the SJC is gonna either send it back with instructions that she amend the alcohol testing order, figure out something that they can give Kelsey, or they're gonna release her right away. But if they
S-
don't, then Tim Bradle can appeal it to the full en banc. En banc, I think it's called, the full bench. You can appeal
Oh,
a single justice ruling too. So
so
it
wait a minute.
doesn't
So
end
he
there.
can okay, so that's in the state Supreme Court, right?
The Supreme Judicial Court of
All
Massachusetts.
right.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't get let go by the one single appellate, so it's an appellate judge, right? That handles it.
No, it's higher than the appeals court. It's a Supreme Judicial Court judge. It's
Mm.
one judge that they pick for every
How
I
did he
don't
get
know
that
6
motion to go
months.
through? Like, what? Why didn't we ever get that motion? God damn.
because it's because you only do it when you only do it like when you have a serious issue. And that this, I knew he was going to do this right from the second that you walked off the bench. I knew he was going to do a 211-3. I had no doubt about it in my mind
But do
that he
they
was
have
going
to
to
go
do
through a
that.
process to accept it? Do they review it and then look at it and say, okay, we see the issue and we're going to accept it and go over it? Or it's just you're right?
No, it's not. Well, you, it can be a frivolous issue. I mean, anybody can file a 211-3. Anybody in state prison or anybody in Middleton or any jail in Massachusetts, like anybody can file a 211-3. You can file a 211-3 on bail from the street, but they'll just kick it. They'll throw it out for being frivolous, like,
Yeah, not
or they'll
serious.
say that's an issue for your appeal after you if you're convicted. But something like this, bail, when
But
your freedom's on the line,
Who overlooks it? Like who ends up overlooking and make that determination? The court, like itself.
one single justice of the appellate court, one judge. It's a judge, just one of the highest judges in Massachusetts. They assign one specific judge to look at 211-3s
So, like
in
you said, like
Massachusetts.
as far as seeing that they usually kick things down so fast back to the superior court level, if they already accepted it, it kind of looks like they're gonna go forward and let her go. Like it's kind of like, is it in your
Yeah,
favor
they would have
once you get
denied
in
it.
that? They would have
They
denied it,
would have
right?
denied it. They would have denied it by now, I think, if they weren't thinking about letting her out. To be honest with you,
Mm,
that's what I think. They would have denied it already.
so things are looking up. Hopefully, do you think
I
now?
think
What do you
she's gonna
think?
win it.
What do you think's gonna be? What just going to be the same situation? The drug, alcohol. I mean, what's going on with that? So, have you ever been in a situation where you had to have urines and things like that, and pretrial probation? Like, what was?
Never. I was never. I could never get bail, so I
So,
never
what
been
was
put
that
through
like?
that.
Like,
But
why did she? Why did like? Why did this? You know, why did alcohol? Like, was this case based on
because
alcohol? Like, when like I'm saying, dude, you know the ins
no,
because
it's
like,
because it's because her kid's father wrote that affidavit.
mm,
So when you have a 58A hearing, it's to hold you without bail, dangerous.
mhm,
These days they have those, and on certain charges, like certain violent offenses,
mhm,
they can ask the judge to hold you without bail for 180 days. So
mm,
during those hearings, those new 58A hearings, the DAs can use whatever they want to use. They can use so in other words, they can use the affidavit from him that he used to file the restraining to get the restraining order saying that he was drunk and hitting them up in Maine or wherever it was that they said that she was acting violent when she drinks. So the judge can consider that in
mm,
assessing what's they're supposed to release you on the most lenient like stipulations possible to your situation. So if she didn't have that report, or if she wasn't a drunk and wasn't drinking during that, then no, she probably wouldn't have set the alcohol thing. But
mm.
because somebody in the affidavit mentioned it before, even though it's a one-sided, I mean, that's so
Yeah, it is.
unfair. I mean, that's this
It
guy
is.
just sends her to the park and then goes and gets a restraining order, and he can write whatever he
So
wants and just they
can you break
take the
that down
kid.
exactly what happened? What do you mean he sent it to the park? You want to put some context to
It's
that for the people who don't know?
Yeah, he told her to meet him. He told her to meet him at the playground with the baby or something like that, and they were gonna hang out and talk or whatever. And he stood her up while she was at the park. He went to the courthouse and got a restraining order. And
Mm,
he wrote some nasty shit about her in the restraining order, and the judge the judge granted the restraining order based on what he said and only what he said, and they came and tried to take her baby from her. So like in the one sweep of a broom, she lost her career. She's standing there in her bedroom thinking she lost her career, she's
mhm,
losing her baby, she's losing her man, you know what I mean, she's losing everything all in a split second. So it's feasible that she might have been putting that gun up to her head. You know what I mean?
right.
I don't think she was trying to shoot. I just don't believe she was trying to shoot the
Well,
officer, and that's why they should have had body cameras in North Andover.
and there's no and to segue into that,
Her word against his.
right, and that's crazy. And the piggyback, should I say, instead of segue, the same
Yeah,
situation with Francis Gigalotti, no body cameras. So whose
crazy
fault's
man.
that? Whose fault's that? Like now, what now? What's like what would now? I know you. God bless you, man. You've been out of jail 5 years, but if you was in a situation where there was no body carriers, like it's their fault, right? Like how do you like that? That's got to be an angle that Brado's going at, right? I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. Listen, she's a before all this happened, she was a correctional officer. We already talked about that. She was a police officer. She's a college graduate, right? Her whole life has been immaculate. Just like the officer that said she pulled the gun on her, it's a credibility contest. And why is his credibility better than her credibility? She says, "No, I didn't pull a gun on him." He says she pulled the gun on me. Who's the jury gonna believe? They have to believe one of them.
So
They might
they're
not
going
know, and
with
it
that.
might be
They're
another
going with.
situation of a hung jury again.
Let me ask
You
you
know,
this. Let me ask you this. So she has no criminal record, like
uh,
you said, was a cop. How the hell is she being held without bail? Like serious. Like, is this not? Is have you ever seen anything like this? And when I'm and this there's another question that's on top of this. Have you
it's
ever seen
wild.
anything like this? A cop was a
Nope,
CO. No, I mean no,
haven't.
no bail. Like being held without bail. That's crazy, right?
I never seen it, man. I
All
never
right, and
seen it. She's got no record. She's a cop. It's only allegations,
yeah, and then they didn't even indict her for the attempted murder with the gun. They
and they
dropped it to
kick
us.
back the attempted murder. Right,
So it's
exactly.
like, okay, so based on the charges, based on her, she's not a flight risk and who she is, how the hell is she being held without bail?
That's why he's doing a 211-3, because the SJC is going to look at this and say, "What the fuck did you just do? Like, why did you do this?" And then in the manner that she did it, I don't know if you watched the hearing, but it was
Yeah, I did. I heard. I
just
listened to the
wild.
audio of it. So let me
Yeah,
let
it was
me let
wild,
me
man.
let me take a trip down to Norfolk County, out to Milton, right? With
Mm,
with a lawyer named Scapiccio, and a cat named
yeah,
Proctor, and a murder of a man called Marquis Simmons, who said
yeah,
a cat named Mizzy Cash shot him, right, and drove away.
yeah,
Miles King, murder one, right?
yep,
Dude was in jail for 3 years on a
yep.
murder one. Scapiccio gets him out on a $10,000 bail. I heard he violated. He's back in, but still
Oh,
at one time,
really?
yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is. Somebody hit me up and
Crazy.
said, yeah, he fucked that up. But have you ever seen in your life anybody in the state of Massachusetts? We just said you never seen a person with no criminal record, police officer, CO, something like this situation being held without bail. Have you ever seen a person with a murder one case out on a
So,
$10,000 bail?
so in Massachusetts, I'm not sure how he's out on how he got made it out on bail, bro. Because in
That's crazy.
Massachusetts, you can't get a bail for murder for murder in the first degree. You can't get a bail. But there's one other time I seen it, and it was recently. It was with a mother, and I'm not sure where, I forget where it was, but it was a mother that unlived her two children. Kevin Reddington's the lawyer on the case,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
jumped out the window and busted her shit, and she's just like can't even walk and stuff, and she's just like sitting there in a wheelchair like that. He got her on a he got her out, but committed to the hospital that she's at, like in intensive care. But
Well,
that's the only time I've ever heard of it.
that's funny that you
You
say
know,
that because that's basically what will go. Now you talked about how she was a cop in a blink of her eye. She lost her man, she lost her baby, and then she gets shot in her chest, and on top of that, she's going
on
through
top of it,
postpartum,
right?
and then she
Yeah,
going through
yeah,
postpartum.
yeah, yeah. I
So
forgot about that. Yeah,
but that is what I think is the baseline, right? What happened to the other woman who killed her
it is.
kids? She
You're
was
right.
in
You're right.
postpartum.
Yep, you're right.
So it's
Same
like
thing.
they don't
Yeah, and she's
same
out on bail, and she don't have all those stipulations, but she is in a hospital. But I mean, yeah,
still.
same thing. You're right. You're right. Comparison of those two cases is almost spot on,
That's
except
crazy.
for Kelsey didn't do something so crazy, but that lady did, and she's out. Even if she shouldn't be, like even if she's in a confined to the intensive care unit or a rehabilitation center, she still has way worse charges than Kelsey. Kelsey didn't kill nobody.
Mhm.
She's the one that almost got killed. She's got lead all up in her upper body. She can't. You ever break a rib, dude? I had 2 broken ribs, man, and I don't know how that girl was even blowing in the tube at all to do those tests.
That's crazy, bro.
It's really hard to blow on them things because if believe it or not, I worked at a Meineke one time, right? We used to recalibrate those things, and
Hmm.
we used to have to blow in them, and they're really hard to blow in, man. You gotta like it's hard, man. It's not
So
easy. You
you,
would
so
think it's
you're,
just easy.
so you're familiar with that process of, and pause if necessary, blowing into this.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We used to have to blow on them. I used to have to blow on them because I don't drink, and the dude that all the mechanics all drank from, and they'd be afraid to blow on the customers in the customers tube when they were fixing, recalibrate, like fixing their ignition lock things, the
Hmm.
breathalyzers that they put in cars.
Right.
I
Yep.
forget what it's called. I'm having a brain fart. But before they can start the car, they got to blow on them. Well, the
Right.
mechanics used to all be drinking and shit from the night before, so their alcohol would still be on their breath. So they'd yell over, "Hey, Jimmy, can you blow on this thing for me?" Because they were trying to fix it or whatever. And I used to have to blow. I blew in probably 100 of them, dude. And it's not easy. It really isn't easy. It isn't.
And she's
So
got, like you said,
and broken ribs. I couldn't have done it with one broken rib. Never mind getting shot in the chest. Her lungs are all messed up. She's got fluids in her. You know what I mean? Like she's in rough shape, man.
now where they holding her? They said Bristol,
No, Chicopee.
Chicopee. Now that's where exactly that at? That's
Yeah, I
what
think it's
county
in.
is
I
that?
think that's Hamden. I think
Oh,
it's
so oh, yeah,
Hamden. I'm
yeah,
not
that's it.
sure,
That
but I
is
think it's
Hampton. So
Hamden.
she's out
Yeah.
there. So is it Springfield, the jail, the Springfield jail? They hold woman over there?
No, Chicopee is the woman's place, and then they got the other. I think it's
Damn,
Ludlow, maybe
she's
Ludlow.
out there, bro. She's 2 hours
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
So
it's the only jail for women right now in Massachusetts.
what
They don't
about
have
Framingham? They're not holding people at
Framingham don't
Framingham?
take women no more. No.
What do you mean they don't take women?
I'm not sure, but I think they're closed, bro. I think
Yeah, it
Framingham's
was
closed.
they had some bad conditions, JFK,
Yeah.
and they
Oh, so
started.
Pretty sure Framingham's closed.
oh wow, they finally shut that shithole down. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Goddamn.
If
They
not,
ran
there's
that
very minimal people there.
they ran that shit to the ground.
Yeah, they did.
So what do you think's going on in there? Is she gonna have any issues with anybody?
She already has. She already
Really?
has. That's what Brito filed with the 211-3, filed incident reports from the jail. They're all calling her a PC biatch and like telling her she better she better stay checked in, and they're all yelling at her, threatening her and shit. Yeah,
Wow.
those chicks are they're heartless, man. They don't care. They like
Oh,
this
we
girl
know.
did nothing, man.
Oh,
This
we
girl,
know.
yeah,
They're on Twitter right now attacking the shit out of me. So I know
yeah,
all about it.
yeah.
God
Hey,
forbid.
Goddamn.
no, they're heartless, man. They're heartless.
So let's talk about that. So, you've been around the system for a long time, man, and you know a lot of people. You're viral in the streets. You say Jimmy T, people know who you're talking about. Let's talk about the woman prison system. Now, like, to touch on that. Right off the bat, it's an issue, right? Like, especially being a cop. Like in any prison, you're a cop. You right off the bat, that's a huge issue, right? It's like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
And she got postpartum and she got shot in her chest. And the judge knows this. Like the judge knows how this goes,
that's
right?
yeah, yeah. This is heartless, man. That's so heartless that she's doing to this girl, man. That is heartless. I don't understand. There's got to be some type of hidden agenda that this judge has, some reason why she might not like Bradle or Martha Coakley or something.
Yeah,
For
I
her to
always.
be this harsh to her, it has to be something that just the public doesn't know about. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
is there any relation between her and the firefighter? I mean, who knows, right?
Right. Dude, I don't even think Judge Canoni would have did this to her. I really don't. Kev, you went can't hear you, Kev.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't think Judge Canoni would have been this harsh.
No, I don't think Canoni would have even pulled some shit like this, man. This is mind-boggling, bro. Grado went in there to just adjust the stipulations, man. That's unheard of. You don't go in court to adjust to ask a judge to just adjust the reasons why you're out because of such and such. And especially with like the issues that she had. You don't just walk into a regular court, a regular just a hearing to adjust stipulations, and then a judge act like that and say put her into custody. You can't. Oh, you can't breathe into it. See you later. She didn't even. She didn't even consider putting a sweat brace, a sweat patch on her. There's patches that they could have put on her that she could wear 24/7. That absorbs. That'll tell on her in 2 minutes if she drinks. That they could have used, bro. They didn't have to use that machine, man. And Jeff January. That was my last PO when I got off probation. Jeff was my PO, and he's the coolest PO that you could possibly get. He's that chief PO in that Essex County, and he even tried, man, and even he was afraid of that judge. Like he didn't want
Wait
to
a
get in
minute.
the
Hold on a
middle of her
second.
smoke.
So, yo, you're saying Jeff January, the dude from
From Lynn.
Lynn,
from
he's
Lynn.
still out there? He's still working?
He's the assistant chief probation officer in
In Superior.
Salem Superior. Yeah,
Wow, he used to be the Lynn Superior. He used to be, wasn't he the
he
chief?
wasn't. Yeah,
Wasn't he in Lynn?
He was no, that was a different January, but the Januaries are all quote
Oh, they're
like
all POs.
yeah, POs and stuff. But Jeff's been in Superior for
Here's
quite
a
a
name
long
for you.
time, man.
Here's a name for you, just a blast from the past, just to blow your mind. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Paula Nimka.
Oh, I loved her, dude. She was so mean, man.
Yeah, she was mean as shit, dude. I was every
We used
other
to
week,
love fucking with her.
2 weeks. Oh
Yeah.
man, shit.
Paula Nimka.
Yeah, man. God damn, man. Lynn District, man, was a fucking hell of a place at one time. God damn.
Yeah,
son.
man. We used to have a blast.
Oh man.
You know,
So go ahead. I'm sorry,
you
Kevin.
know, I
Take
was,
the mic.
I just want to just throw this out there. I think, I think these judges and these, the some of the state, say DAs, they're gonna hold Kelsey at a higher standard, being her background and her her service that she has. Like they want to put it as like she should have known what was right and what was wrong, and that's the sad part, because they're kind of overlooking the medical end of it, like the trauma and the postpartum, and they're gonna look at this lady as a woman in blue that served the Commonwealth for say 15, 20 years, and they're gonna try to make an example, like you just can't,
Yeah.
you just can't do
But
this.
I understand that, but that's for the sentencing part. Like right now she's presumed innocent. No matter what
Exactly.
that complaint says, she's presumed innocent. But I get what you're saying 100%, Kev, but that's like they should be saving that for the sentence if she was ever convicted, which I'm not even sure she's gonna be.
It's just I mean, I
Who
just look
knows?
at it like that, like
Yeah.
it's like it's just sad, I
Yeah,
mean,
you don't
because
get to do this. You think you're a cop and you think you can do this things like this. No, I get what you're saying.
like she like she should know better to if it's her partners that she worked with, she should have just handed over her firearm. And
Can
you
you
know
imagine? Can you imagine that Kelsey and the dude that shot her answered a call of a woman
yes,
that killed her child, man? Like that was her partner that shot her, bro. That wasn't just some other cop on the force, man. That was her partner, man. What happened in that room?
exactly.
Why did
I
he
mean,
do that to her?
That's
Wouldn't your first
crazy.
instinct, even if she put the gun right to his face, wouldn't your first instinct be, Kelsey, what are you doing, man? Like, cut that
Right.
shit out. Like, calm down. You know what I mean? You're not gonna. Oh no, man. I wouldn't have drew on her and shot her, dude. Even if she pointed the
what
gun at me, I might not.
and
Would have
knowing
been
that
like,
they
whoa, why are you
That's a
doing
good
that?
point.
You know?
That's a good point.
and you're right, Jimmy, because you think like, okay, here's a partner situation where they might have sat in the same car and drove around and did the same beat for a whole shift. Why
Uh,
wouldn't they just send him there and say, hey, listen, I've worked
Go
with her
talk
for
to
the
her.
past 5
Yeah.
years. Let me approach her with this and serve her this, and and test the temperature and see where she's at. You guys sit outside. Let me go in and close this over, you know. But
Or even the chief, or it's a small department.
Right.
Even the chief.
There
Hey,
you go.
Kelsey, can we
Yo,
talk? You
listen,
know?
let me tell you something. Bradle, if you're listening right now, there you go. Because that, I think, right there nails it on the head. Why wouldn't you let the chief come out, right? It's a small department. It's not like he got anything better to do. He's probably walking around downtown eating pancakes in the morning and shit. You know what I mean? Saying hi to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
sent out a conflict of interest to do this. Like they're her co-workers.
And let's not forget, the kid's father's a firefighter. So how many friends on the force does he? They're all friends. So what really happened in that room, man? Something really happened in that room.
Well, word has it she was preggo.
Again?
Yeah, and then you think about it, if the baby was 5 months, how many months pregnant was she? So
Oh
then, like
yeah,
that
she was
means,
pregnant too, right?
yeah. So,
Yes, and
but
she
her
lost. I
baby.
believe
But
she
hold on,
lost.
let's just say something here. Let's talk to the ladies in the chat. I mean, I know how this goes, but we'll let the ladies run it. She basically got pregnant pretty fast after, because she wasn't even fully recovered with the first baby, right? I mean, like you got to wait what, two
Yeah.
months? So
Yeah.
like how many months pregnant was she? Was she only a week pregnant or was she a couple of months pregnant?
Right.
So it's like that's something to think about.
Man, I forgot all about that part, man. Maybe that might. I mean, I can't speculate, man, but there's a reason why that girl was shot, man, and it wasn't because she pulled a pistol on that dude, man. That it just wasn't, man. You can't get me to believe that. You know what?
Oh,
I
the
just,
baby, excuse me. Sorry, Jimmy. The baby was 7 months. I'm sorry, guys. I thought she was only
oh,
five
okay,
months. All right, so that makes sense.
that she was 7 months pregnant.
No, the baby was 7 months old. The baby they took from her.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The
yeah,
baby was mad young.
yeah. So, but I'm
Can you
saying that's
believe I
better.
just got? I just had to go to jury duty Tuesday.
Yeah.
What,
God
October
damn.
2nd? No, Thursday, October 2nd. I called my group got canceled, but I called ahead of time and I'm like, are you people serious? You guys, you really serious? Like if I don't go, you're gonna arrest me one day driving down the street for failure to go to jury duty. And I was embarrassed and I was like, I called and I'm like, listen, lady, I'm embarrassed. This is embarrassing to tell you this, but like I done probably like I'm 50 and I probably did like at least 25 years of my life in prison and probably 15 of it in state prison. Do you guys really want me to report to this building for jury duty? Like, really? You know what she told me? He said, well, you must have been doing good for the last 7 years because you got to be out of trouble for 7 years until you can start getting those. Maybe somebody would want you on their jury. Why would you want to get out of it?
Wow.
I was like, wow. But the reason why I say that is because if I was on that jury, dude, I just wouldn't believe that happened like that. And
No.
I don't even want to see the evidence like that. That didn't happen like that. Her partner didn't follow her up the stairs. She didn't pull the gun out on him, cock it back, and point it at him
It
to
doesn't
kill
make no
him.
sense.
Doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense. Why would he follow her
Oh,
upstairs and all that shit? Like he would have gave her grace, right? So like what went
yeah,
down? Like yo, that shit's
something, man.
that's
There's
suspect.
the
And
truth.
she said the truth is gonna come out.
Yeah, she knows, man. She didn't do. Listen, I hate to bring this up, man, but I'm about as sure that she didn't do that's not what happened in that room as I am that John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. Disclaimer: I'm not trying to bring up that whole thing, but
You
like
could bring it
that's
up,
how
bro. This is
sure
what
I that's
we
that's
draw
about how
parallels.
sure I am.
The Keep in mind the name of this live is Kelsey Karen Francis. So this is the
Oh,
subject
okay,
of what's going on. So
yeah,
it's always going to be Karen Reed. The pivot is John O'Keefe. The pivot is Marquis Simmons. The pivot is
yeah,
just real talk like we're talking.
miscarriage
Um,
of justice, just
yeah,
generally.
everything. That's it. And that's funny because we be getting pegged that we don't talk about corruption and things like that. And I ain't trying to spin
Yeah,
drama around, but it's like just the conversation we have
That's
on
what's
just
up.
on a
Okay.
just us just talking, behind the
yeah,
scenes. We talk about
yeah.
corruption all day. That's all we talk about.
Right,
And
Technically,
tentacles.
even
right. And you know what? And that can be
tentacles.
dramatic. That can be dramatic. So I mean, I
Right.
mean, it is what it is, man. If
Hmm.
that's the case, like, I don't want to get off topic here, but yeah, man, I'm about as I believe about as I believe that that's not happen. That's not what happened in that room as much as I believe that Karen didn't hurt John O'Keefe, man. That's how sure I am. Like that's my feelings on it.
All right.
It,
So
it
let
just
me
didn't happen like that.
let me say this. So let's jump into Haverhill. Francis Gigalotti's in front of Bradford Seafood. You've seen the videos. I know you watch a lot. We've been going over Jigger, right? He's having a mental health issue, whether he did drugs, whether he didn't do drugs. I actually talked to the person they arrested for the drugs, and he's saying that
Mm.
they did, and they're not charging him with it. Then come to find out, a police officer, a woman police officer. So before I say that, I forgot to say one part before I jump off Kelsey. She was at a scene similar to what happened, right? Like she showed up to a scene of a mother who committed suicide and killed her kid, right?
Yeah, that's
Did
what
you
I was
see that
saying. With her part, yeah, with her
with the
partner. That's what I
partner?
was saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah, with the
saying
guy
that?
that shot her. Yeah,
So that's wild, man. When you think about like what's
isn't it?
like what? Yeah,
Yeah,
what's the
that's what I'm
relevance
saying.
of
Like
that?
that's not that can't be it can't be that's can't be the truth of what happened in that room, JFK. It can't be. It just can't be.
Because they
Just
kind of
just
just
think
went
about
through
it.
it. They kind of just went through the same fucking thing.
Okay, I open the window.
You know what I mean?
Talking to my puppy. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's all right. You can do whatever you want, Jimmy, man. This is your flight, brother. You're the star of the show, and I'm happy that you came up, Jimmy, man, and because you
Yeah,
know
I
your
missed you
shit.
guys, man.
Yeah, man, we missed you
I've
too.
been MIA, man. Just doing my thing, but
Hey, there's nothing
yeah.
wrong with that, brother. Getting your shit right, doing the right thing. That's all that matters. That's all you're here, bro. You're here
But
for it.
I've been staying up on it, man. I talked
I
to
mean,
Kevin. Kevin, me and Kevin are
how haven't
basically neighbors.
how haven't you heard?
Right?
God damn.
You know,
Oh man, we're America's most wanted on these YouTube
Yo,
streets.
Jesus.
Jimmy. All I
For
gotta do is
nothing.
yell over the fence, man. Dude's
Nah, nah,
right across the
no,
way,
but
man.
truthfully, Kevin, I can look out my window and see a light.
Yeah.
I can see that light from my bedroom window.
We always chatting and shit. He's always driving by, waving and shit. We help each other
The
out, you
puppy
know.
hanging out there. I can't even talk to him because my puppy, she screams out the window. I'm like, I'll talk to you later. And they'll be screaming, can't even hear each other.
She's protective
Little
of you.
monster.
So
Yeah, she's a little monster.
let me take you to Haverhill, Massachusetts. What if you could describe Haverhill, right? How would you describe it?
A lightened up version of Lynn, right?
Yeah,
Lightened up version of Lynn.
so there's a lot of
Yeah.
addiction out there. A lot of, is it poor out there? Like
Yeah, yeah,
how would you
yeah.
break it down?
Yeah, it's just it's similar to Lynn, but just right
More
next to
trees.
Lowell. That Haverhill's like I want to say maybe Peabody to but like Haverhill's Peabody to us.
Right.
Lawrence, you know,
To Lawrence, yeah.
Haverhill is Lawrence's Peabody.
Right.
That's
It's right there.
exactly how I can describe it, right? Kind
Yeah.
of.
Or like Lynn to Revere or Lynn to Salem,
Yeah, yeah,
right
yeah,
next door. Or East Boston to Winthrop, shit like that.
yeah.
Um, but so Francis gets in a situation with these cops. He runs away from the cops 2 times. All these cops jump on him. They say they can't breathe. They never flip him over. He ends up dying right there. They say they're going to charge. Well, they say they ruled it a homicide. Now,
Oh,
the
they did.
homicide, yeah, they
Well,
ruled it a
homicide just
homicide.
means die by the hands of another.
Yeah, so break that down. What's an unlawful
Well,
homicide and a lawful? Who's going to determine that?
well, the DA's office, but not. Yeah, it's going to be the DA's office. So an unlawful homicide is a murder. A lawful homicide is when you die at another person's hands, and it's like justifiable. An unlawful homicide is a murder or a manslaughter. And a homicide just means to kill. Homicide. The word homicide just means that the person's been killed by another human. That's all that means.
That's all that means.
It could. That's why they call it vehicular homicide, or you know, unjustified homicide, justified homicide. Homicide sounds like a bad word, but it's really not. It just describes how a person died. That's why they'll have Shit, man, I'm having a brain. It's getting late. So on a death certificate, it will say manner of death, homicide, and then or suicide or old age or whatever, or cirrhosis of the liver. Like the manner of the death is 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 how yeah, I'm fucking it up. The
That's
manner
all
of the
right, brother.
death
Take your time.
is homicide, and there's the other part. The other part, manner. I don't know.
Cause.
Offhand, I don't know.
So let
Oh,
me
yep.
ask you this.
Nah.
Yeah, that's all right. So you see what happened to Jigger. There's a bunch of Jiggers running around, right, that might have mental health issues, right?
Dude, that almost
Like,
happened to me at Peabody Mall, man.
so break that down. Tell us a story. You got a story to tell? Break it down.
Yeah, I was in. It's. This is gonna sound crazy because all the shit they're talking, but I was in Abercrombie, no Hollister. I was in Hollister during my drug days, just smashing Hollister, filling up a whole bag just full of whatever. I had like $1,000 of Hollister shit in the bag, and I started to walk out of Hollister, and loss prevention came running at me from the food court. They had control of the cameras from the phones. It was back when you could just when they first were able to see cameras on phones. And they rushed me from the food court. It was at Peabody Mall. And my sister was there with me. But my sister didn't even know what I was doing. She just drove me to the mall and went and did her own thing, but she happened to be in the vicinity of me, Jamie. And they jumped on me, man, and I couldn't breathe. Like I was literally couldn't breathe. I thought they were gonna kill me. And my sister's like saw them. My sister was like, my brother can't, like pushing them off me and like pushing shells over on them and shit. Like it was bad, man. They almost killed me. I can see how that happened. That's my point. Like that, it can happen that easy. Like they don't care. And you know what they say to you? If you can talk, you can breathe. And that's not true, bro. Someone that came up with asthma my whole life, just because I'm mustering up everything it takes for me to say them last words. You know what I mean? You're telling me if I can talk, I can breathe. Listen, bro, I can't fucking breathe. Like, you know?
And yes, and you're
So,
on your stomach
it can
and they're
happen
on your
that quick.
back, they're crushing your diaphragm.
Yeah. Yep. Terrible, bro. It's a terrible feeling, man. I can't imagine George Floyd. That dude, it's terrible. What a terrible feeling. Because it happened. It actually happened to me twice. It happened to me on Union Street in Lynn. I took off on a cop that asked me my name years ago again. Like this was like 15 years ago, and I took off running from him. And he was on foot, and he chased me all the way from one end of Union Street to the other on a hot summer day, and then was kneeing on my back in front of Caruso's, and like in the middle of the street, but in front of Caruso's, and I couldn't breathe again. And that's when he kept saying to me, if you can, and I was begging him, just give me my inhaler. It's in my front pocket. Just squirt my inhaler in my mouth. Like I thought I was gonna die that time too. Twice that happened to me. The bad feeling, man. That poor dude.
Damn, Jimmy.
Oh, I get it, man. Yeah, it's a bad feeling, man.
Yeah,
Real
that is-
people.
I was lucky.
Yeah, that is real. And with that, let me
Let's be clear. I don't live like that anymore. That's just stories from my past. But
Nah.
you know, what were you gonna say? I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Nah,
These people run with this shit, man. I ain't seen.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Whatever,
They
they
could
can
do
say
that.
what they
That
want,
nothing.
bro.
We're Teflon Don,
they
and
can
all
say
I
what
gotta
they
say
want,
is,
man.
R.I.P. Francis Jigalotti. Let's get into the Jigger song. Everybody, put your ones up. R.I.P. Francis in the chat. If you're rocking with JFK, Jimmy T, Kevby Kev, 781 on the Cash App, Venmo at JFK Show Off. Don't forget to populate them chats, populate them goals in different area codes, and let's get this conversation moving.
Yeah.
Let's
Now we
go,
throwing
people.
down, but
How
I
we
have to do
doing
this
it?
set up to you. Why you my web band? But it's going to let us go. Hey man, wanna talk shit on the internet? Then you call me homie, and you don't even know me. See this dude on your screen, think you know the real me, man. You can just blow me. You all in your cute little studio, act like you on the streets, call me bro. Wanna be some big YouTube star while I'm keeping it real. Hell man, I'm here in my car, fighting the fight, doing it every night. Fight fiction with fact, we ain't pulling no curtain back. Think it's all about us, no man is bigger. Tell you right now, it's all about Jigger. Fighting the fight, doing it every night. Fight fiction with fact, we ain't pulling no curtain back. Think it's all about
Be clear, ladies and gentlemen. SK27 Music's up in here. Scotty. My man Scotty, man, made this song, man. He did a great job with the AI. You know what? And Scotty knows I do music, and it's hard for me to deal with this AI shit. But honestly, man, if Scotty does it with class, man, he does it with class, man. He does an amazing job, man. Thank you, Scotty, again. So Scotty made this song. I just want to be clear. Scotty did this song. He wrote it. And honestly, it's so relevant to what's going on right now with this JFK channel. And I appreciate it, Scotty. Everybody put your peace signs up for Scotty SK27 Music. Let's go.
Us, no man is bigger. Tell you right now, it's all about Jigger. Someone's hurt your feelings, man. Well, at least you can feel, man. Jigger got his life snuffed out, you know. There were 7 of them po-po. He was just walking, man. Was having a spell. Didn't know what was happening, man. Couldn't even yell. Put him on the ground. The only sound was I can't breathe. Let me up, but not too damn corrupt. Now it is 7 on his neck. You don't figure that just maybe you're gonna kill Jigger. Fighting the fight, doing it every night. Fight fiction with fact. We ain't pulling no curtain back. It's all about us, no man is bigger. Tell you right now, it's all about Jigger. Fighting the fight, doing it every night. Fight fiction with fact, we ain't pulling no curtain back. It's all about us, no man is bigger. Tell you right now, it's all about Jigger. Hey man, you wanna talk shit on internet? Then you call me homie. Man, you don't even know. You see this dude on your screen, think you know the real me. Man, you could just blow me. Fighting the fight, doing it every night. Fight fiction with fact, we ain't pulling no curtain back. It's all about us, no man is bigger. Tell you right now, it's all about Jigger.
And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. I want to say thank you. It's been a rough couple of weeks, or should I say week or whatever it's been. I don't even know. And I want to be clear that it's been rough for you guys too. The format of the show has changed. Obviously for obvious reasons. And you guys, all my long game is Scotty, Becky, Pags, What the Duck, TB, Mama J's, DB. I mean, I could just go down the list. Cheryl Reed, Nurse of Interest, Backseat, Special K, David, J-Rock, Nurse Alicia, Con Land, Y, Laura Pike, of course. Estes up in here, Seek Truth. Don't mind me. I'm a little tired. Denise, you guys had it rough too. And I want to be clear. I appreciate you guys put up with that. I know things got a little ugly. And you guys, we're here. And we're only going to address shit if it comes our way. As long as nothing comes our way, we're going to be clear flying. But if it comes our way, we got to do what we got to do. Right, people? And I know my long game is understand that. And I love you guys for that. And I really, truly mean that.
That's right.
But yeah, go ahead, Kevby.
We're here for you, people. Let me tell you, we're here for you.
Let me get some super chats up here real quick because I haven't been going over them lately because of obvious reasons. We got Becky G always coming through with the goals. We got Beverly who became a new member, which is awesome. EPAG, she says, "What up, Jimmy?" EPAG says, "What up, Jim?" What the Duck gifted 5 JFK memberships. Let me unmute Jimmy. Line up, ladies. Bringing my Air Force Ones. Okay. Lisa McDonald have Irish twins. It happens. Okay, Lisa McDonald. God damn, Lisa McDonald, you need to calm down. But Bukaki was the partner, the daddy of the new baby. You never know. Becky G, R.I.P. Jigger.
I was thinking that, man.
Awesome guests and information you won't hear anywhere else. Yeah, you won't. And that's what we're going to do, too. I want to be clear. We're going to start bringing more JFK friends up here because we got a lot of friends, man. We have a lot of friends that have a lot of stories. And I think a lot of these, I don't want to talk about nobody, but a lot of people in this space, should I say, you don't really see their friends. So I'm going to bring the friends since they want to talk about my credibility. Why don't you ask my friends my credibility? And then you guys will understand. I know my long game is no, but my friends got some hella stories, and they're all survivors. And, you know, there's a saying, cockroaches survive, right? Like, who gives a fuck? It is what it is. But when I say survivors, I mean they're creative adults. You know, they're children who survived. Like, we've been through the mud from an early age. We just didn't pop out. We're not just here now speaking about corruption and speaking about pain. We've been in pain for a long time, and we know how to navigate the pain. And Jimmy coming up here sharing his stories, you know, it took a long time for him to navigate, to be confident, to get to where he's at. This is something that he didn't know. All he knew was the system. And that's where he felt more at home at one time. And dare I say that, Jimmy? You know, I'm not trying to speak for you, but you know what I'm saying, though, Jim.
Yeah, you're right.
And now he's on the street and he's dealing with different personalities and bills and all these different things. And it's so easy to crash out. So, you know, we're just real people at the end of the day. E-Pags again. I'm in the tattoo parlor getting my JFK tat. Oh, shit. God damn, E-Pags. Keep it up, JFK, James, and Kevby Kev. Absolutely. We got
damn.
So
tonight,
I'm gonna do this real quick. What do you think? Now, one of the cops in the Jigger case allegedly died of a heart attack or something like that. You heard?
Yeah, I heard that.
Another fishy situation. Young girl dying of a heart attack. What's up with that? And then her family released
that's crazy.
Then her family released the statement saying they like something like the chief of Haverhill Police, like they said something really rude about the Haverhill Police. Becca could tell me better, but yeah, basically. So what's up with that? Like, do you think, now we talked about the homicide, right? Do you think that they're going to come down with something on these people? Is that even possible? You think, like, how are they going to frame this up? Do you think they put charges on these people, on the police?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're gonna do, but I mean, it's on camera what they did to him. They should. Hopefully, they will. You can't really project what these people are gonna do during these type of things, but I believe they should, and I hope that they will, because they murdered him.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Is that a murder to you though, or is what would you call that? Like if you were gonna charge them right now, because you know about the law, how would you charge them? Would it be a murder or manslaughter? How would them charges go?
I'd charge him with first degree murder, because the guy had to have been saying he can't breathe. His last words had to have been that he can't breathe. They had to have been.
So by
And if
him
you know
saying
that
that
somebody's
wordplay,
telling you go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, break it down.
And if they're hearing that, if those his last words and that's what they're hearing, and you're knowingly killing him, man. No, you're just knowingly killing him. You're knowingly killing a person that's telling you that if you don't take your knee off my back, I can't breathe anymore. What else is it called? Right?
God damn, Jimmy T, we got a murder on our hands.
So listen, let me put it in a different context.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on. I'm taking it up to 39. Jimmy, you got
Yo,
You're playing that right now? You watching it on TV?
yeah, really low. I'll shut it off though.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah, you can hear. I can hear it.
I want to put that. I want to put that. You asked me what I would charge him with. Let me put him in a different. Let me put this in a different context for you people.
Mhm.
If that was a group of regular, ordinary people like me, you, Kevin, James, we jump on someone's back in that doorway, right?
Mhm.
And we're holding him down. Say he tried to break in your car. We caught him. The scuffle ends up in that doorway. We're all holding him down. He's telling us we're holding him down for the police. He dies. What do you think they're gonna do to us?
Right.
They're gonna charge us with murder.
Damn, Jimmy.
That's what I think.
Did you
Right?
see Did you see the episode with Becca on here and her mother about? So Francis Jigalotti had a brother. He had a younger brother. Um, was it his younger brother or older brother? Kevby Kev.
It was his younger brother.
So back in 2011, his younger brother went out in the ocean and a rip current swept him out. Right.
Oh wow.
2016, they recover some of his remains. Right. So 10 years later, basically, they cover his remains. And then a couple of years back, his sister gets hit by a car in Methuen by
Jesus.
a hit and run, and she dies, never got the hit and run driver. So his mother,
Oh my
Jigalotti's
God,
mother,
man.
lost all 3 of her kids. They're all gone. Just to give you some
Holy
insight.
shit.
Right.
That's terrible.
Yeah, the fucking family suffered, man.
Suffered.
She wants justice right now.
And at this point too, you know, Francis's mother, she's you know, her health is you know, isn't the greatest. I mean, you know, she needs an answer, you know.
Yeah,
Ladies and
definitely.
gentlemen, I got a link pinged up. Excuse me, I got a link pinned up in the chat. If you want to come up here right now, like we did last night, we're opening up the panel. Anybody that wants to come on the panel tonight and speak to Jimmy, ask him questions. If you got anything on your mind, it doesn't matter. Whatever's on your mind about past events, and you guys want to talk, it's your floor. You know, I get it. There's been some drama going on. I don't want to spark it, but if you have anything on your mind that you want to speak, you are the people. You can say whatever you want. You could say whatever you want on my channel. This is the movement. This is whatever you want to call it. This is this, it's that. I don't even know anymore. I don't even really care. All I know is we're here. So if anybody wants to come up and speak their piece and want to speak on how things are or how things should be, or speak on talk to Jimmy, talk to Kevy Kev, whatever your vice might be, the panel is now open. It's in the link section. We've been rocking for an hour and 12 minutes. Come on in. This is your chance to speak your piece about corruption, about whatever you want to speak on. Let's go, people, as Kevy Kev says.
So
Yeah.
so JFK, I can't hear anything but Kevin. I can't hear music or nothing on what I'm listening to. Is that
Yeah,
normal?
sometimes nah, it's weird. Like certain times you log in, guests can't hear the music. I don't know why. It's so weird, man.
Oh, okay.
It's like some type of glitch in their system, you know? And it messes it up
Yeah,
because
I had to log out 3 times before I could catch the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hit the little red square, I jump out, and then I go back in, and then it did it again. I went back out the third
Oh,
time, and
okay.
I could hear the music. Yeah.
Terry says, JFK, thanks for being a man with character and integrity. Blessings always. Now, keep in mind, people, on October 24th, Friday, I think the spelling is wrong. Someone just alerted me to the spelling is wrong on Meridian Street in Malden, Mass. Someone just alerted me to that, which I didn't know. I didn't do this flyer. James was working too that day, and I guess he wrote it wrong. I don't know. But it's 75 Meridian Street. I know it's Meridian Street. I'm pretty sure, but
Might be 2 hours.
yeah, it might be 2 hours, but whatever. 10/24/25. That's a Friday. JFK, James Jackson, Kevby Kev, 781, Nan Gallagher, and Mikey Crawford, Money Making Mike of the Young Jerks. We're all going to be in the same room, same place, music playing, talking, having a conversation. You never know what type of guest might pop out. You never know. Jimmy T might pop out. It's 75 Meridian Street, Malden, Mass. 7 to 11. Tickets are now on sale at $50 at JFK Show Off at James Amaral, or on the Venmo at JFK Show Off. And I'll just leave a little tag and let us know it's for tickets if you're gonna send that. And yeah, come on by. We're getting packed in. I think we're almost at capacity, but we got some left. Come by, check us out. We're gonna have a nice panel. We're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna let Nan talk about the law aspect of things, just like we did with with Jimmy tonight. Let Jimmy be in his wheelhouse tonight. We're gonna let Nan be in her wheelhouse. Then Money Making Mike, he's a fun guy. We're gonna let him be in his wheelhouse. And then the crew, Kevby Kev, JFK, we're gonna be in our wheelhouse. And you never know, Kevby Kev. Kevby Kev does a couple of things that people know him for. He's not only is he a smart guy, he's got some moves. Yeah, take him up to 39,000. Come on, Kevby Kev. Let's go, Kevby Kev. Let's go. Let's go, people. Keep in mind, right? Sorry, for the quick dance off. Thank you, Kevby Kev, for that, man. I appreciate it. I need to be uplifted.
Anytime. For the people. The people.
Kevby Kev is, I'm telling you, Kevby Kev got moves, man. Kevby Kev, he does. Like, he got rhythm. Like
he does,
listen,
man. He's funny.
he doesn't think about it. He just does it. And that's a true person with rhythm when you just do you. And Michael Jackson always said, they asked him about dancing, and we know how Michael danced. He said, listen, you can't think about it. You just got to do it. And that's always been my problem with dancing. I'm always thinking too much. You just got to just be you and just let it out. But yeah. So Kevby Kev, we got a DJ there, right? Kevby Kev, you want to break it down a little bit?
Yeah, we got a DJ. It's going to be a nice setup. We're going to have a little spot. We're going to have some merch out on a table. We're going to have a nice little camera spot. We could take some pictures with the crew. It's going to be a good time. Let me tell you. You got to get out there, people. You got to get out there. October 24th, 75 Meridian Street. It's going to be JFK Show Off, James Amaral, Kevby Kev 781. All right. Nan Gallagher, Mike from the Young Jerks, Malden, Mass. 7 to 11. Get out there. Come chill with us. The boys from Boston.
Let's go, people. We got some people up here that want to check us out. We got a lot of people jumping back here. We got Carol. She jumped in first. What up, Carol? Carol Lynn. You there, Carol? You probably got to unmute. No, you're not. You're not muted. Yeah, Carol.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I think we had an issue before. Carol, talk again. Are you low?
I had you on my TV, but now when I went to my phone, I guess I'm talking to my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here, Carol. What's up?
Gotta turn the TV down.
I did. I put it on mute.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Here's the deal. I'm a North Attleboro townie. I'm a good girl.
Okay.
All right. Very old fashioned. I'm 63 years old. I have kidney disease. Wow, I look damn good. Look at that picture. But anyways.
Goddamn.
I have kidney disease and I'm on disability. And I got involved with this whole Karen Reed thing because I hadn't even heard about it. My neighbor next door was like, oh my God. So anyways, I'm going to cut to the chase because I am a real masshole and I am like you guys. I don't take no shit. Okay?
Okay.
And I have backed you guys even today. I was on Grant Smith, whatever it is, Towelhead.
That's what he
Yeah,
calls. That's what he calls
no,
himself.
no. But listen to me. I went on his stream today, and I heard like things. I keep an open mind about everything. Notice my name, last name is Monist. It comes from monastery. And I was raised since I was like, I don't even remember, honest. So I'm an honest person. I don't like liars. I don't like shit. Okay? And I can't take any more of what has happened because, in my opinion, Turtle Boy illegally recorded Karen. Fact. Disclaimer. Okay? And he has caused all this. I was on I don't call him the glare anymore. I call him the glire. His I loved everybody. Okay? That's what makes me so sad. I got involved in this movement because I tried to not focus on my own personal health issues, and I just, my neighbor was watching it. I'm like, oh, what's that? I didn't know. But then I was like, okay, because, I've had issues with the corruption of this state with DCF, with my daughter, and I don't even want to get into all that. So I am a very intelligent person, and I know what corruption exists. I'm in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. Yo, townie. There's so much shit in our own town that I could tell you about. Chief Coyle's son killed himself, whatever. So I have been able to offset my problems physically, financially, by getting involved in this movement because I was like, okay, it could be worse. Like, instead of feeling bad for myself, I every day went on to watch everybody to just like, okay, like I've always been raised to say, it could be worse.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then when all this shit started, I was so heartbroken because and what you guys, don't even, I am such a long gamer and such a supporter of all you guys. I actually, just so y'all know, I couldn't believe today, I actually went on Grant Smith or whatever his name, Grant Towelhead. I was on for 5 hours on his, stream.
Okay.
Because I felt, oh no, I had been told how bad he is. I was like, I believed all this bullshit. But you know what? Actually, he has your back. People should watch.
You know what?
Okay, the
You know what,
stuff.
Carol? It don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I
No,
appreciate
it
you having.
does
No,
matter
it not. It,
because
it doesn't though. It
it
doesn't. You know
does
what?
matter because the Glare is a liar,
That's okay.
and this whole toxicity that happened, which I want to scream out loud, is if Turtle Boy did not illegally record Karen Reed, then none of this would have happened.
Yeah. Well,
Okay? I learned to.
that's allegedly, right? We got to say allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly. It's
Oh,
confirmed. Okay?
okay.
No. I'm sick of this. Oh, allegedly. No. It was confirmed today. If you go, I hate to say, to Grant Smith's uh, thing today, I learned more from what he played about this woman that spoke to a detective about how he admitted he illegally recorded Skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, I just am so saddened that I thought during these last year and a half, 2 years, that in my medical condition, my financial situation, that I every day got up and was like, so, like, oh, I don't want to say addicted, but I was. I love Carrie. I love you guys. I loved everybody. I loved Clara. Are you kidding me? I was like, oh, he's, whoa. But in the last, like, month of what I've seen, is just broken my heart
Well,
and made me.
it shouldn't though. You know why?
Well,
Because
it has. It
they
has.
say. Well, let me just say this. Let me just speak to that, because they say there's a division. There's really no division. There's the JFK show, and then there's all of them. That's it.
Right.
You know what I
And you
mean?
guys
So
speak.
that's it. Let them be
You
them. They
guys
all can
speak.
do it. They know the truth. And listen, everybody here knows the truth. You know what I mean? Everybody
I
knows the
know
deal.
that. And
And
that's
so it
why
is what it is.
today, just so you know, on any channel, since this all broke, I put the disclaimer XX, love JFK.
You can't say that
Um,
nowadays. You're gonna get attacked.
no, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something today, and I hate, like, I feel like, here's the deal. Here's the real deal. Honest, Monist. See my last name? Monist. Comes from monastery. I was told as a young child, honest, modest. And I'm being honest. I was not attacked. I even went on Twisted Tragedies. I didn't even know who the F this girl was,
Right.
right? I was like, I had to.
So you've been driving around today, huh?
God
Oh, I've
damn.
been.
God
I
damn,
do.
Carol.
I
Kevy Kev,
do
you got.
that.
Hey, listen. Before I got to get you up out of here, Carol. You got anything you want to say to Jimmy and Kevy Kev that's up on the panel right now?
I love you, JFK. I love you, Kevy K. I love James Jackson.
Okay.
And I am a long gamer.
And you
You
know what?
go, boy.
We love you too, okay? And you stay strong with what you're going through, okay? We're here for you, all right?
All right. I
You
love
co-
you, boys.
you
Thank you,
come back
Carolyn.
anytime, girl. You come back anytime.
All
Peace.
right. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you,
Beautiful
Carolyn.
phone call. Beautiful phone call. There's a lot of passion. And everybody knows the truth. We spoke our truth. I'm not going to get into the truth and how I see things. We'll just leave it at the way it is. Every stream is different. Um, we know what it is. We dedicated hours, of time of speaking the truth. And like I said, I don't feel that anybody should feel that there's any separation. It's very simple, right? At this point, let's just keep it real. There's the JFK show, there's James Jackson, there's Kevy Kev, and then there's all of them. So whatever, like, that's cool. And I don't want to put on Deb in that. I don't think it's fair to him, because I'll just leave it at that. There's certain people that shouldn't catch strays. He's one of them. But it is what it is. So
You know,
you
I,
shouldn't
I'm
feel you shouldn't feel bad about division, because it's really not divided. We always stood alone, though. Prior to this shit, it's like we know we stand alone, and there's nothing wrong with that. We don't feel bad. You guys don't have to feel bad for us, because I know I don't feel bad. There's nothing not one of these fucking clowns on the internet could say anything about. Jimmy, am I lying?
There's the absolute. I told you that, man. I told Kevin that. Like I've known you since we were knee high to a grasshopper, man. And I'll just say good luck to anybody finding anything to talk about with you. That's true.
I
You
don't know. We
know,
keep it solid. I mean,
You've
listen,
been a,
man.
you've been a good dude throughout our entire lives, man. Never. And I'm from the city, born and raised here, where you were born and raised. Like dishonorable. So I mean, if good luck, man. Good luck to anybody that tries to shit on you, buddy.
I appreciate
It's
that,
not going to
brother.
happen.
Yeah, and this show's not about that, but we're gonna bring some other guests up here. And like I said, I'm gonna open the panel, and and I'm gonna let people talk because hey, I'm not doing the phone call thing. I want to be clear with everybody. Some people will draw this up as I'm trying to start shit, but I'm not. I honestly like doing it this way. I don't like the phone call thing. The phone call thing, it's a pain in the
It's a
ass.
pain in the ass. It is.
Everybody's beeping, beep beep. I hate that shit. I want my panel to be able to talk to everybody and have a conversation. And I think that's cool, man. As long as everybody keeps it respectful, we'll keep it like that. And I think it's a new
So
segment into the show. I'm just trying to do things different. And like I said, if they want to speak on things, they can. And so don't get mad at me. And it is what it is. But coming up to the stage, we got no other than Esty. What up, Esty? Is this the real Esty?
This is the real Esty. Can you hear me?
Goddamn, Esty. Yeah, what's going on, girl? What are you doing?
What's up, girl?
Ooh, well, there's definitely something I need to get off my chest, address. It's been bothering me for a long time, and I mean, I got the receipts right here on my phone, so I'm gonna read it here from the phone. Don't feed the ducks. Giving food to ducks can
Yes.
create many problems for birds and the environment. Okay.
feeding the ducks.
The notion that, you think ducks can survive without human intervention, that's false, and I just, I just feel so good now, just getting that off my chest. It's really been bothering me, and thank you for giving me this platform to speak my voice on that. So,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Anytime.
I think I'm getting a contract for feeding the ducks now because the word's out that I'm really good at it. And
So
Wait,
when you
hold
did
on,
that,
hold on. This is the girl that on the video. This is the girl where that comes from. I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect you, but this is the real girl that did that. Feeding the
yeah,
ducks. The ducks.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, I love you. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Well, you
Okay,
got to
then.
keep in
Go
mind. Let me
ahead.
give you some context. Let me give you some context on that. How creative it really is. I think
Yeah.
people miss that.
People
So
miss it.
No, yeah.
StreamYard.
bye.
Oh, she jumped off. There she goes. She's in and she's out. Okay, SD. So people uh there's a song that's like inside embedded in the StreamYard. StreamYard is a duck, right? You see it's a duck. So they gave a beat.
Yeah.
They made a beat that you could use, anytime you
Yeah.
wanted to use it, and it's the duck beat. So she created
Oh
a
wow.
song. She created a song along the StreamYard duck. So it's actually pretty clever.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's also, but it's also the truth. Because when you think of it, every little pond you go to, there's a sign
Don't
that
feed the
says,
ducks.
"Don't feed the ducks." And what she
Gotcha.
said to remind us is that the ducks can survive without any human interaction. You understand?
Yeah.
And
Yo,
We
I
got
don't,
Charlie. We got
I don't,
Charlie Rogers up in here. What up, Charlie?
what up,
I don't
Charlie?
think that was the real Esty.
Nah, it was.
It
It
was.
was?
I could tell by the
Yeah,
voice. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
It
how
was
I
her.
caught on to it.
It
Yo,
was
that
her.
Carol really killed the mood, huh?
That's all right, man. People can come up and talk whatever they want to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think she was
Yeah,
drunk.
she's
That's all
going
right.
through it, man. She's
That's
going
all.
through it.
That's all right, bro. She got kidney disease, my man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
What
Like
do you
Yeah.
got to say, Charlie?
people
What do you
watch
got to
these
say,
straight.
Charlie?
What's up, Charlie? Yeah, go ahead. What you want to talk about?
Oh, what do you want to talk about?
I
No,
don't know.
you
You
came up
came up
here, my
here.
man.
I got Mexican Jordans.
All right.
You want to make fun of me for them?
Oh yeah. Okay, buddy. Guess what, bro?
You
Bye.
fucking pussy?
Yeah. See you later. What's going on?
Hi,
Unforgettable.
What's
What's
Charlie.
up?
wrong?
See you
Hi
later,
guys.
Charlie. Yeah. What's going
Hi,
on?
JFK. Hi, Kevby Kev.
Hey, there
Hello,
she is.
JFK.
What's up? What's up?
How
So
are you guys?
unforgettable. She's on my Facebook, and she's from Lawrence. She's one of
Yeah,
she's from we're from Lynn. She's from Lawrence, Essex County. So you know the corruption that runs deep in Essex County. Haverhill happened right down the street from you, and then the North Andover thing's right there. I'm pretty sure you probably got pulled over in North Andover one time if you cut through that
no,
fucking place, right?
no. Cut it out.
So what's up? What you
So,
want to talk about, girl?
well, I want to talk about something that's been bothering me. Like,
Go ahead.
I'm a follower of everybody, right? I follow you. I follow this show. I follow, all the creators, whatever, because that's just me. That's just my nature. I'm not a hypocrite. I don't like choosing sides. I just keep it neutral with everybody. That's just the way I feel. Like, I agree with certain things with certain creators, and I don't agree with certain creators with certain things. But at the end of the day, I just keep it to myself and just keep it moving. You feel me? That's just keeping it real. What bothers me the most is when people reach out to me and start giving me warnings. Like, oh, why you following so and so person? Why you hitting up so and so person? Why you talking? Like, first of all, I'm a fucking adult. You're not gonna tell me who I gotta follow, who I gotta, talk to, who I like. I like Turtle Boy. I like you guys. I like everybody. I just keep it neutral with everybody. I've been having people hitting me up like, oh, why you following so and so? Why you following the other? Why you gonna go do this with this person? I don't like that shit. That's division right there. Like that's some straight like snake shit. Because you know what? At the end of the day, people want me to see things their way, not my own way. I'm my own person. I'm not gonna go stop watching you guys because people don't like you. I'm not gonna stop watching Turtle because people don't like him. And that's one thing that fucking be bothering me the most. Like literally, I got kicked out of a group because I followed another creator that person knew I followed them, and they told me that I don't belong in their group because I'm following that person. Like, first of all, y'all some hypocrites because y'all be talking about how there's division and all this bullshit between the creators, but yet y'all niggas is causing the divisions in the background. Y'all niggas is trying to get everybody to pick sides. Don't tell me as an adult to pick a side. I'm an adult. I could sit here and I could watch y'all. Like I go late nights and watch y'all. I fall asleep watching you guys because you guys going real late. I'm gonna keep it real. And I got to get up early, but I watch y'all. Just like I watch Turtle Boy, like I watch everybody. But that's one thing that people in the movement and people that follow other creators have to understand. We can't be seeing things like they want to see it. I got to see it my own way. Okay, you guys don't like what they did to Turtle Boy, or you don't like the way they did JFK. Okay, you don't like the way this person acts up or whatever. That's on you. That's your personal way of seeing things. But don't come hitting me up telling me who should I follow, who shouldn't I follow, who should I chill with, who should I talk to? Because I love them all. I love all the creators. That's just me. I can't be a
As you
hypocrite.
should. As you
You
should.
feel me? That I got the right to do that. But a lot of
Yeah.
people lately, that's what they be doing. But then big
Yeah.
hypocrites, real quick to be like, oh, everybody's causing division. First of all, motherfucker, you're causing the division yourself because you're telling people to pick a side. I don't need to pick a side. I'm an adult and I could talk to whoever I want. I could see whoever I want. If y'all want to boot me out of a group because of that, that's fine. You know what? I'll live. I'll live to see another day. I'm not going to die. I'm not losing sleep over it. You feel me? And
Right.
I'll just watch other creators. That's just the way I feel about that. But that's been a big problem, and I wanted to, bring it up here on the
It's
platform and speak about
unfortunate.
it.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's got to be
Very
that way.
unfortunate because you know what? But it's funny though, JFK, for real. Like, it's the first ones talking about division is the fucking thing. It's the first ones talking shit about that shit. Oh, you guys are causing division, but the biggest hypocrites causing the fucking division. Stop being fucking hypocrites. Live and let live. That's the way I see shit. If I want to follow one person, I follow them. If I want to do this, I do this. If I want to do that, mind your business. Keep it moving. Everybody got their own mindset. Yep. Everybody has a different perspective on how they see things. Yes, there's certain things certain creators do that I don't like, but at the end of the day, I just keep it moving. I just keep it moving. I don't want to be part of like the fucking drama. Like I ain't a little kid, you feel me?
Yep.
Nah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't take
Yeah, I
anybody's shit.
respect that. Yeah, big time.
And I got mad respect for you guys, you feel me? And I appreciate you guys letting me on your platform to kind of like vent that out, because I've been keeping that shit in for like a bit, like, and I needed to
Hmm.
bring it out here because I
Well,
know.
it's been going on. It's not like this is not, and just prior to this situation, there's always been these elephants in the room where you can't talk to this one, and if you mention this one's name, and I go through that all the time. Like, perfect example, like Sean McDonough, right? I like Sean. He's a
Me
DEA
too,
agent,
me too,
right?
and I got kicked out
But
of a group for that. I got kicked
but
out of a
here's the
group for
thing.
that.
Here's the problem. Now I understand, right? He did what he did, or he said what he said. I don't even know. I just know he was a cop, and my point was, I figured he was an asset to what I'm talking about. Jigger, before Brian from Las Vegas spoke on Jigger. He spoke.
Hmm.
He said they killed him. And I'm like, cool. We got one cop, and I'm like, it'd be great to have Sean, because Sean, regardless of what you think about him, as far as just put that to the side, the drama to the side, he was a
Yeah.
police officer for years. So ask him, what do you think would happen to Jigger right there? And if he says, yep, they fucking killed him, that's another cop. So it's like what, I can't do that. I'm gonna get attacked. Oh, you're a turncoat. Sean's no good. This and that. It's like, well, that's not what I'm using him for. I'm using him for this particular situation. But it's like there's these rules that we got to follow. But guess what? We made new rules this past week, so we don't give a shit, and it is what it is. Karen Reed is free. I think everybody needs to stop being so paranoid. She's
No,
free.
everybody needs to stop being so petty, JFK.
Yeah,
Just
I mean
straight up.
that's it. Yeah, and Karen Reed's free. So if certain guests, like if it's SD that people have an issue with, or this one or that
Yeah.
one, as long as we're not being reckless, I don't think anybody should care who anybody talks to at this point, because Karen's free. I understand she got a civil case. I get all that. But I mean, hey,
Hmm.
life goes on. And like I said, I would like to use Sean in some type of space. Obviously, I'm not trying to battle with people with Sean. That's not what I want to do. But I think Sean has a lot of expertise in criminal case. Like, picture Jimmy and Sean having a conversation. You know what I mean? Jimmy T and
Yeah,
Sean,
right.
that's a great fucking conversation, man. That's priceless, man. That's entertainment right there, man. And what, we're gonna get pushback from it? That's corny.
Yeah, it is corny as fuck. Like, people be attacking like mad rough, like, because of who you talk to and all this shit. Like, at the end of the day, like, I've been seeing mad drama on X, on Facebook, everywhere. Like, it's everywhere, bro, even on live streams. But at the end of the day, I just I keep it moving, because that's not gonna change my perspective of how I see a person. Like, I like Turtle Boy, I like you guys, I like everybody else. Like, it's that's the drama between them. I'm not involved in that drama. Oh, but they're a snake. All right, let them be a snake. They wasn't a snake to me. So why do I gotta be upset with them because they're gonna be like that? Oh well, that's their problem. This is just what it's about. You feel me? And I feel like a lot of people get attacked for the simple fact that you want to follow certain people and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, I
Well,
got
it's
kicked
back
out
to
of
the
a group.
responsibility. Let me just say this. I said this on Howie Carr with Mikey Crawford. I'll say Mikey Crawford, right? I said this on
Mhm.
the radio show. I said, listen, it's up to the chats to figure this out, the people. Like, you can't, like, that's the thing. You can't turn to the creators. I think, like, that's the reason why I'm opening up the panel, because I'm not trying to dictate to you guys. I'm trying to let you guys figure this out. I'm not going to be a dictator and be like, listen, this is how it should be, and this is how I see it. Listen, maybe it ain't my way. As James Jackson always tells me, JFK, not everybody's like you. So I'm cool with the criticism. You know what I mean? Not everybody's like me. I see things the way I see it. Hey, cool. But that's why I'm opening it up. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you guys. I ain't shit unless you guys show up. That's just a factual
Mhm.
statement. And you know what? Karen wouldn't have been freed if everybody didn't throw her bread. And that's just a factual statement. So I'm just trying to open it up and let you guys figure it out, and just loosen up a little bit and not be afraid. There shouldn't be like this, like, scare tactic, if that's the right way of putting it, where you guys got to worry about jumping in the chat and someone jumping down your throat, calling you the C word or this or that, you're a
We're
turncoat.
adults,
Like, that's
JFK.
bullshit.
We're adults. We adults. We should be able to like debate, basically, like debate and talk our differences without having that problem. But at the end of the day, we know in the society we live in, bro. There's people that are just not gonna be mature enough to handle debates and situations like that. They're gonna be down your throat. They're gonna be talking shit, calling you names. You know how that goes. You know what time it is, JFK. You know how people are. So at the end of the day, I'm free. Like, I'm in everybody's chat. Like, I watch everybody. So I'm like, yeah, I'll comment here, I'll comment there, I'll comment in different spots. You feel me? And if people don't
Jake,
like it, they can keep it moving.
Unforgettable, you still up in here? We're gonna let you rock out for a little bit. Jay Grayson, what's
right,
up, man?
honey.
What you want?
Have a good
What you?
night,
No, you can
guys.
stay. You can stay. You can stay up. You want to stay up for a
Oh, you
little
want
bit?
me to say?
No, go
Okay.
ahead. Let the conversation flow. Jay Grayson, what's up? Hello, Jay Grayson. Jay Grayson, are you there? Mic check to the gods. Jay Grayson, Paige and Jay Grayson. Jay Grayson, we got your Walmart order up the front. Do you need it? Christmas is coming. You might need it. God damn, Jay Grayson, I gotta kick you, man. I'm sorry, bro. Let me bring
God damn.
Katie up. Katie, what's up? You there? Mic check to the gods. Turn that
Hey,
mic on.
hey, fellas, how are you?
There
How
she
you
is.
doing?
What up, Katie? What you want to talk about? Well, you got Unforgettable up here, Jimmy T from Lynn, Kevby Kev 781, and your
Hey,
boy JFK. What's up?
hey, everyone.
All right.
I'm catching up on these other cases, and I heard that last hearing on Fitzsimmons. It was appalling. And I was
Mm,
actually a probation parole officer in a former life 100 years ago, but
mm,
that judge, it was clear she already had her mind made up about what she was going to do,
right.
and it seemed personal,
Oh yeah,
and that's when our system goes
without a doubt.
sideways. You cannot take things personally. You have to be professional. You have to keep a safe distance. You cannot, because it looks like you're out to get people, and that's what undermines our trust in our system. And the way she as a former PO, the way she was talking to that probation and parole officer was wild. So I don't work.
It's
I never.
unprecedented. They don't
Yeah,
do that. They,
no, they
they
don't.
don't do that.
They don't. I mean,
They listen to probation and parole.
usually, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
in my time, there was a judge or two that could be pretty hateful to. One in particular is pretty hateful to POs, but for the most part, yeah, they rely on the probation parole officer. They're in charge of the supervision and the monitoring. I never was in charge of any equipment monitoring, so I can't speak to that. But I think the judge says something like something about her deciding what's a violation. Well, yes and no. I mean, they rely on the
It is
probate.
only when it's brought to her.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So
Yeah.
that it has to be, and my experience was we would submit the reports, and sometimes we would not ask for any intervention from the judge, and sometimes they would still intervene. So they did have that, and I don't know what kind of reports that PO was providing, but when the PO shows up on behalf of that person, and it tries to explain what was going on, and she just wasn't having any of it. And if the PO he's the one that's familiar with the equipment, not the judge. He deals with that stuff all day. And the whole
What do
thing
you
was just.
feel being a PO? What do you feel about that equipment?
I'm
Is
not a
that like?
PO. I haven't been a PO for many years. Let me make that
But
clear.
so okay, but what my point is, you're familiar with that breathalyzer type thing, no?
That's not anything I've ever used.
Okay.
I don't understand why now I have people that I currently work with now that are on, I've had people on Interlock that I work with currently. I do have one person that does have a device but I'm not involved with that. That's a separate thing that they're doing. I work with them in another venue or another way. But so I don't understand. Alcohol wasn't even part of that. I don't understand why that's such a big deal. First of all, was alcohol involved during the incident in any kind of way? I don't
It
really understand
wasn't.
what.
It wasn't involved in the incident. The JFK asked the same question, and the reason why
I didn't think so.
he's able to use the alcohol stipulation is because in Massachusetts, the no bail statute, the 58A statute, it's called the dangerousness statute. In short, um, the judges are allowed to use whatever the prosecutors are allowed to bring in some evidence that they wouldn't normally, that's not usually admissible in other proceedings. So she was able to take into account an affidavit from the baby's father saying that she attacked him while she was drinking.
Oh, I
So
see.
she
I
can
gotcha.
use that to set a stipulation. That's what
I
happened.
gotcha. And I know that. And again, I worked in a different state, but and I know that there's bond conditions or bail conditions are often set, and I know in my state it wasn't unusual for people to have a stipulation to not consume alcohol. In
And your
general.
time of when you was a
You breaking
probation
up or is
officer
that
work,
me?
when you was when you was a PO, and do you still work in the court system, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I work in the private sector.
So when you was working in the court system,
JFK.
yeah, I'm here. I think that might be you, brother. We're good over here. We're all good, right? Panel, you guys can hear me,
Hello.
right?
Yeah.
I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I think Jimmy, yeah,
Loud and clear, brother.
something's happening with you, brother. Jimmy, you could come in and come back out. You can leave and come back in, and it kind of makes it whatever technical issue you have, it will restore itself, if that makes any damn sense. But anyway, Kate, when you was working in the probation section or whatever of the court, did you ever see
Probation or parole.
anybody? Yeah, did you ever see anybody on a $10,000 bill for a murder one case?
No.
You know, what I did, so I work with people that were already on, they're either on parole or on probation. So I didn't work pretrial stuff. So I can't really comment on that.
Does that sound crazy though?
It sounds crazy that, there's so many things about that are just, that whole thing is very,
Yeah, especially with the evidence they got against this kid. I mean, they got someone saying they did it. I'm gonna bring someone else up here. We got Jersey. What up, Jersey?
which kid?
Can you hear us, Jersey Shore? You there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's happening?
Hey, Jimmy. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Jimmy's mic'd up. What's happening?
Jimmy, you really know your stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it comes with a lot of experience dealing with it, man.
How long have you known JFK?
Probably since I was about 12 years old, 11 maybe, 12.
Yeah, that's hot. You two ever hook up? You fucking faggots.
Oh, nice, Jersey. You like that?
You
Jersey.
fucking faggots.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Jersey, keep talking. Keep talking. Show your face. Click on your camera.
Yeah, I'll
They
turn it
won't.
on.
That's
Click on your
coward
camera.
shit.
Click your camera on, buddy.
It's always the
You're
warrior.
a fucking bully, Randy.
Oh, you're a
Yeah.
doofus.
Yeah. I'm a bully, huh? I'm bullying Turtle Boy. That sounds
You're a
mad
fucking
funny.
pussy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like
Hey,
he's
it's all
crying.
good, brother. Is this Turtle Boy? Is this you? Bring your Jordans back. Hell out of here.
Classy, huh? These people got class.
I seen, and that's the thing. Like, I
You
seen
see how
that
petty
coming.
that shit is?
I seen that coming.
Yeah,
What's
I
up,
ran a,
NY?
I ran a live on my page earlier, man, and
NY Chimmy, what's up?
Hello?
Hello, is everything okay? Are you coming in with violence or peace?
Oh my God, never violence, please. I mean, we have
Goddamn.
maturity on this side. Okay, I've
Yeah.
called before. It's Daniela. How are you guys?
We're good. How are you?
Good. Hello,
Nice.
everyone on the panel, you beautiful people. Jimmy,
Yes.
first of all, thank you so much for your insight today. It's been awesome to hear your perspective. Kevby Kev, my boy over there, JFK, everyone, hello. I just wanted to come on to raise a little bit of awareness on postpartum depression because I don't think a lot of people understand what women go through when that happens, when you give birth. And I feel for Kelsey Fitzsimmons in that way because it's something that's very taboo. Like, I grew up in a Spanish household. Depression where, honey? Like, it's like, mira, like, you'll be all right. Like, it's all good. But
Oh, what are you, Puerto Rican or you Dominican?
Listen, JFK, we talked the last time, my guy. Like, I told you, let's go get some chimneys in the Bronx. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay. All right. Let's go.
I'm actually not Puerto Rican. I will leave my identity to whoever wants to guess. But I grew up in New York City, and
Okay.
I will
You're
just
a New
say,
Yorker at the end of the day.
yes, I'm a New Yorker through and through. Listen, I'm not into the sports thing. We're not gonna listen. Chimmy is what I need right now in this moment. But it's kind of late. But whatever. Anyway, the point being that in our culture, it's very taboo to talk about those things and to speak on that. And it's something that I hope that more women start to feel more comfortable with so that these judicial systems can start to understand that giving birth, being pregnant, all of those things, it's real. Like, it's not something that, is to be played with in any capacity. Like, you don't understand the level of vulnerability that your body goes through in not only protecting a life and also giving birth to one. So for Kelsey to go through this, like, it feels very like it's giving very much spiritual warfare.
Jimmy, what did
where
you say? You said Jimmy, all in a what? You said it perfect. All in a broom sweep. How did you
A
say that?
sweep of in the sweep of a broom, I think I might have said.
Yeah,
Like the sweep
her
of a
whole
totally,
broom.
her whole
totally.
life was just flipped.
And if you think about it, it's like, in her most vulnerable moment, all of this is happening to her. She not only got shot in the chest by somebody that she trusted and worked
How
with.
crazy is that?
It's bananas. And then her ex, who, look, no disrespect to anybody, but is giving very DL energy, that you're coming for your ex, the baby, and trying to take her money, take her house, and all this stuff. Like, that is, no real man does that. Like, point
Straight
blank,
fact.
period. Like,
Straight
no
fact.
real man does that.
Yeah.
And,
You're right.
I
That
feel
was
for
her
her.
house, and yeah, he was trying to take
He
And
was
child
and
he's trying
support
to
Becky
take
from
her
her.
and
house.
Becky G made a great point, and she's only 28.
She's
Exactly.
mad
She's
young.
Yeah.
young, she's beautiful, she had a career, and there's a lot of envy. There's a lot of men that have envy towards women, especially your partner. So, ladies out there, like, if a man shows you that he is hating on you and he, like, even the little slightest digs, girl, go to the next one, because that
Run,
one
run.
is gonna take you down, period. And
Definitely.
that's a
And
jealous
that's
man.
I just want to say
We
this.
could never.
I want to say this. This is the reason why I opened up the panel, honestly, because 75% of the audience is women. And
Yes.
if you don't know, I kind of bend my channel to the woman a little bit as far as the music choices and things like that. Because I like hanging with women. I don't like hanging with a bunch of dudes. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you,
Period.
right? But I'll tell you, everything you just said is real shit because obviously I have kids and I respect the hell out my child's mother, and it's not a guarantee. I mean, these women
Mm-hmm.
can die on having the baby. They can bleed out, like there's
Yeah.
hemorrhaging. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
cases. My niece, she had a baby like 4 years ago, and she hemorrhaged, and like she was God, thank God she pulled through, but it was rough, and it was scary, and it's like you're not expecting that, and these things happen, and never mind just the terms and as far as like the first, what is it, trimester, you don't know, you could lose the
It's
baby
a
just off
delicate time
stress.
then.
Delicate
Mm-hmm.
time. It's not
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed to have children, and I think we take that for granted.
100%.
Definitely.
And look, on that note, I just also want to say, because most of the audiences and, like, all of the content creators, especially the ones that I follow, it's mostly male content creators. Like, ladies, we could do better. Like, I be seeing some of y'all going into other people's chats, starting drama.
Well,
Like,
guess what? I think we got a great panel right now. We got
no
Kate up in
facts,
there. We
but
got Unforgettable, and we got you. I mean, we can just
100%. But
we
let
can
me just
exchange
say,
numbers, and we could create a show on the channel every Wednesday,
listen, don't even
Definitely.
Thursday.
tell me.
Let
What
us
are we
know.
Mira,
talking
don't tell
about?
me twice. Don't tell me
Yeah,
twice, okay?
Yeah, right.
But
Tell him,
look,
Jimmy. Don't tell us twice.
shit.
but look, but for real, like, the only reason I say that is because it is so rare in the beta male culture that we live in now to have
Hmm.
straight up dudes like you guys to stick up for women.
Right.
And women have to understand that, because y'all talking about misogyny this, misogyny that, but you know what? You got men right here trying to stick up for y'all, and you're going and starting drama like this is some Real Housewives scripted reality stuff. It's not
Right.
about that. These are real people doing real things where real consequences can happen. So we also got to stand by these men who are actually being men and
Right.
protecting us, and not starting all this drama, because I bet you and I guarantee you, if you guys, meaning you, James, and Kevy Kev, actually had a conversation man to man with Glera or with TB, granted, they're a little bit on the immature side. I love them, but they're on the little bit of the immature side. But if you leave the chat out of that, y'all would have a productive conversation. But there's some people who are agents of chaos who like to go into the chats to stir drama up for no
Hmm.
reason and to cause division. And it's those people, which, if your audience is mostly women, girls, we could do better than that. Like, we can't talk about the patriarchy and all this nonsense, and then you have men actually sticking up for us, and y'all starting all this drama. Come on, man. Like, we also have to support the men that are actually sticking up for us too. Like, what is that?
I
It
really,
that that's
that's some deep shit what you said. But the reason why me, Kevy Kev, James, and Jimmy T up here too. Jimmy, who we grow up with, bro? We grew up with our moms.
In what sense?
I'm just saying with our
Yeah, mom's
moms, like
raised
with the
us.
ladies, like
Yeah, we had
if,
no
if when we
dads.
grew
Moms
up, if
raised
you
us.
had upstairs and downstairs, we used to go to our boy Wayne's house. We thought he lived in a fucking mansion because he had upstairs and downstairs.
And
Right,
two
Jimmy?
parents.
Right? It's like, yo,
Yeah.
your father lives here and you got upstairs and downstairs. Yo, you're rich.
Listen, like,
That's how it was growing up. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's why
like
we
I
got
grew up in
respect,
a
man.
time where, like, and I grew up in a time, respectfully, like, if somebody came at me sideways, okay, okay, there was a
Oh,
line of people.
goddamn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing that because respect is everything. Like, I don't know you guys, but at the end of the day, of all the content creators I've watched, y'all have never disrespected women at all. Y'all have
Exactly.
always been respectful, period. And you have to have the whole, not even just the garden, the flowers, you deserve the whole estate for being that way because
That's awesome.
nowadays people will disrespect people just because, like, there used to be a time where women and children were protected, like, no, don't touch the women and children. Now everyone is free game.
That's
So it's
crazy too.
rare. So
And
it's
that's what, and
rare.
honestly, I just want to touch upon that. That's the shit that scares me. Because I'll tell you right now, if that shit ever leaked into my personal life and I see anything, I'm telling you right now, like whatever, I got
Mm-hmm.
Kevy. I told Kevy Kev earlier, I got you as an emergency contact. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all I got to say about that.
And that's a fact. And that's why, like, especially with what you guys are doing and why I support it most importantly, and why I think most of your audience does, is because, like I said before, like, I think I called like maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, or no, maybe like a week ago. But I had said the minute that everyone stops critically thinking is the minute that a narrative that has bad intention takes legs. You don't want that. So ask the questions. If
That's a
people
great
get
point.
butthurt, oh well, they get butthurt. You know what? You're not ready for the truth, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that you stop speaking it because someone's feelings get hurt. Because guess what? Emotions, I always tell my daughter this. Where are your emotions? And she points to herself, and I was like, exactly. They belong to you. So you are responsible for dealing with them and working through them. And mommy's here to help you. But at the end of the day, when it comes to all of us, I'm not going to be like, mommy's here to help you. But like, we're all adults here. Like, if you can't think logically and critically, then y'all need to do some healing. Y'all need some spiritual work. You need Jesus. And at this point,
And
I don't
that's
even know if Jesus could take the wheel, honey. I don't even
right.
know, man.
Anybody,
Jesus
Kate,
said, no más.
Kate, you want to
Yeah.
speak to that unforgettable? Any of you girls want to speak to that?
Jesus says you're on your own on this one.
Period. Yes, girl.
Yes.
Miss Unforgettable. I love you. Oh my God. I can't even deal. Oh, I can't.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, she's you know what I like that she spoke upon? She spoke about the Kelsey Fitzsimmons about the postpartum depression. Like straight facts. She's talking facts. And
If
I'm
any,
telling you,
if you guys don't mind, let me ask any of these ladies on the panel, and I don't mean to be, and I'm not trying to be intrusive. Have any of you ladies ever went through that?
Yes.
yes, that's what I was gonna explain to you now.
Yes.
I
I
don't
was
have
gonna tell
kids.
you I had my own experience with that. So when I had one of my sons, I experienced that. And like literally, like it's hard to explain what you go through emotionally. You feel like your whole world is falling apart. You're an emotional wrecking ball. Like it's you're all over the place mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to protect your child and be there for your child, but your emotions are all over the place. So, and then people, when you go through that, that's when you need the most, support. You need the most emotional support. You need, the backup from everybody, not only with your child, because obviously you're going to need help with the kid while you're going through that, because I went through that
Mm-hmm.
and I needed lots of help. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like to help yourself, because bro, you have to heal from that and overcome that. But there's women that they go through it really, really rough, and it's really
Girls lose
fucked up.
their hair. They lose their hair,
Yes,
or they, or
yes,
they, or,
Everything.
or they fuck around and
Everything.
shave their head. You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
They
Like
go
it could get
Nah,
crazy
you
and do
crazy.
wild.
this
You wild.
shit.
Not over
Well, to
here.
be,
You wild.
You know what the
you know,
sad part, Kelsey, poor Kelsey is? It's just like she didn't have any backup. The man that she was supposed to depend on, her
Right.
baby daddy, the ones that she was supposed to be her right hand man,
Yep.
betrayed her and did all that dirt on her.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So
Yep.
imagine being in that situation mentally and and your right hand man, your supposedly right hand man, does that dirt to you, and plus the people that's supposed to be, your peoples from work too. I could imagine what this girl's feeling like nowadays. You feel me?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's facts. Like, I mean, I have to say, like, I went through my own version, but for me, it was like everyone in my family and even in my husband's family, they're like, you'll be all right. But it's hard
Yes,
to,
Hispanics
it's
don't believe
hard.
in
They
nothing.
don't believe in
Girl,
nothing. And then
Yeah,
on
Hispanics
top
don't
that's
of
the
believe in
that,
craziest
nothing.
thing.
and
Cause
on top
because
of that, you
because I
can't. Sorry, JFK, go
No,
ahead.
it's all right.
Sorry.
That's all right. My children's mom is Puerto Rican, and
Mm.
her dad straight from Puerto Rico, man. And listen, it's funny. She was showing me this video the other day of like the Vicks, like, hey, put some Vicks on your chest, or like, it's just like these easy fixes,
Big
like
kills everything.
these,
Yeah.
yeah, it cures
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like, man, it's tough, man. It's just a cycle, right? It's just a wild,
Yeah.
wild time. And you ladies that grew up with their dads on the Spanish side, and I'm from Lynn, Mass, and it's like Puerto Rican, Dominican. It's like I grew up around that, so I know what you guys are talking about. That's basically what I'm trying to
Yeah, and
say.
look,
Yeah,
and if I may,
Hispanic parents, yeah, they don't believe in shit. They don't believe
they
in nothing. They,
don't.
they feel like you're gonna be just fine. You'll be fine. You're just, going through it right now. Like they don't believe in none of that shit. It's just like Jimmy
Yep.
said that we grew up with that hardship with our parents, and it's just like they don't believe in none of that stuff because obviously they didn't live up to none of that stuff when they were younger. So like it's nothing to them, you feel me?
Right, and that's why like it's important to educate people, especially like, with everything that's going on in the world with like, all these people saying, "Oh, the birth rate is declining." Yeah, well, I don't blame y'all for saying that because at the end of the day, like if we don't have the proper tools to be able to educate people of what it is and what a massive responsibility it is to be a parent and what that does to a woman's body and how much she is dependent at that point on her husband to be strong to step
And what
in
if she was
or her
breastfeeding at
partner.
the time? She could have been
Listen,
breastfeeding. Like that's
That's
crazy too.
listen,
I
I
To
was
don't
take
even
the
want to
kid,
imagine that
to
part.
take the kid
Yeah.
off the boob, man, because we know how. I
exactly.
mean, that's like such a
That's the
demanding
bond.
thing. Yeah, that's
and
the
that
bond, and
and
it's
That's
just
the
demanding.
bond
and
for
just
the
the
baby.
physical depletion that does to a woman as well. I mean, it's like robbing you from all your nutrients and everything. Like,
Exactly.
Everything,
And that poor
everything.
so it
baby, like
drops everything
Kelsey's
down.
baby, like what is this man doing with his child that the mom is one of the most important figures there. Like I cannot
Correct.
tell you
From the
or
beginning.
emphasize, look, the father is equally as important. To me, it's the unit. It's both mother and father are both important in this. It's not because it's male or female or one is better than the other. It's you two together working together for this child. But in the
Definitely.
beginning, because the baby is coming out of the mom plays a more important role because you're
Hmm.
nourishing your baby on the outside. It's called the fourth trimester, right?
Hmm.
Definitely.
So you have to have that bond with your baby so that the baby knows that you're there. So for Kelsey, this poor woman,
Man,
like,
someone's saying, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
no, it's
Someone's saying
okay.
she was breastfeeding. God
That's
damn.
insane. And
Wow,
then this
that's
happens in
crazy.
front of
That's
her
sad.
kid.
And then
Like,
her dad to rip, the husband to take the baby away like that. And it's just surprisingly, like she's just home and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. That's some betrayal ass shit. There's no loyalty in this life, bro.
Mira, listen. That's giving que he's a
That's
little bit
dirty.
on the that's
Dirty.
dirty and he's on the other side, if you know what I'm saying, because
Yeah,
no
he's
straight
he's
men do
dusty.
not behave like that. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna
You
call it and
can't be
say
that
it how it
dusty to the
is.
point that you're fucking hating on your girl, bro. Straight
Hey, no,
facts.
Exactly. If
but
you're
but
hating on your girl,
let's talk about that for
mm-mm.
a second. I got my man Mike Caputo. What up, Mikey? Mikey's a good dude, man. He
Hi,
said
Mike.
intelligent. He
I
said
Hey
love Mike.
Mike.
intelligent, logical, rational, and respectful conversation, talking about stuff that matters. Great panel. More of this, JFK. God bless my brother. Of course, Mikey,
Thank you,
man.
Mike. We
Period.
love
Mikey,
you.
Period.
Mikey's a
And
solid dude. Let
thank
me
you,
just say this.
JFK.
Of course, let's talk about that for a second about the hating part. Like I seen that so many times where dudes will hate on girls, right?
Yo,
And it's like,
straight
and like,
facts.
and like, because I grew up having homegirls, you know what I mean? So, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I still have homegirls that I never messed around with. They just was my homegirls, right? And
Mm.
and I seen that, like just the hate, like a certain dude would come around and just always pick like a fight with them or say something. But now we're in the era of, like you said, these people are young. They're 28, they're young, and you got the screenshots, you got Snapchats, you got all this different, like
Mm-hmm.
basically all shady shit, like that we would say in my generation, that would be like shady, right? So it's like it's so easy for them to like even pick up them habits because they can hate fast, because if they get a bunch of loves and likes on their post, or they're
Mm-hmm.
getting attention on them and they're not getting attention, their mind starts
Mm-hmm.
wandering. So I mean, think about what these kids got to go through, like these young kids. I mean, like, are they, when they make it to the fifth level of life, how do they navigate through like all this fuckery they got to deal with? Like, how can they, like, you know what I mean? If you get what I'm
It's
trying to
called
say.
mommy issues. It's called you need to work through your
Yes.
mommy issues
Yes.
because at the end of the day,
Definitely.
Everybody has problems, and it's your responsibility, no matter how messed up your life is. You have to be the one to deal with those problems so that you don't pass them down to your children. Like, look, I didn't come from an upbringing, like my father had passed when I was little, so I had already an absent father in my home. My
God
mom had
bless.
all the pressure to do all of the things that she had to do, and granted, she had her things, but you know what? She did the best that she could with the tools she was given. But you know what? As an adult, I can't be looking at her and blaming her for things anymore, because now I'm a parent. So it's
Yeah.
my job to do the right thing by my
Do you have
child, because
sons?
I have a daughter. Listen, I would love a son, but you know what?
How
I'm like,
about you? How about you? Unforgettable. You got sons?
I have two boys and two girls. I have a 20-year-old and an almost 18-year-old. So they boys the oldest, and my daughters are 15 and 14.
So, like,
wow.
let's talk about that for a second, right? With the sons, right? I think that's very important because I'm gonna be real with you. I feel, I had this conversation with this girl one day because she she got like this tough love with her son. And oh, he's 25, I kicked him out, this and that. I said, listen, you can't do that. Like you got to keep parenting, even though because they get older. These sons, like I think that's what happened with my mother tried the best she could, but like at 18, it was done. Like I didn't even have a room no more. Like you got to go. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, maybe that's maybe a little embellishing, but the point is, it's like as growing up, eh, you could become a deadbeat parent later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you could be there,
Absolutely.
you could be
Great
you could be
stuff.
with your kid your whole life, but then they turn 25 and you kind of abandon them. And
But
so,
you know what it is, JFK?
parenting,
Like,
parenting, you gotta, because look, this is how I look at it. You got you got from 8 to 21, you're a juvenile, right? And then from
Mm,
21 to 28, you're a young adult. And then from 28 on, you're actually an adult. Because
right.
basically, by the laws, the way they're designed, you can't give certain kids life in prison at 20 years old because their minds are not developed. In LA, they got the law at 26. If someone commits a crime at 26, they can't give them life because technically, scientifically, their brain's not developed. Right. So this is just something to think about. Like, because I feel like kids age themselves out. Like, so when the kids turn 25, especially how life is moving so fast, it needs a fucking speeding ticket, by the way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're seeing so much stuff
great
go
stuff.
by them. They feel at 25 they got to have a certain level. They got to have a foreign car. They got to have Gucci. They got to have the girl, and they want to be entrepreneurs. They don't want to look stupid. Their internet got to be popping. Their followers got to be moving. So now they get stuck, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like the point I'm trying to make is if you tell them, I always tell the kids in the gym. I was just in the gym with these couple of cats with my daughter just before I came on, and they were young and they were like 25. And I always tell every 25-year-old I meet, I say, listen, man, just keep in mind 10 years ago you were only 15 years old, right? Don't rush the process, my dude. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah.
think at 25, like,
That's
you
great.
gotta understand you got so much time left. And I think that's how it should be. It should be like a three-tier system where these kids, if you tell them, listen, from 8 to 18, you're I mean 8 to 21, you're a juvenile. 21 to 28, you're a young adult. You're not even an adult yet. You're a young adult. And I think the parents
Hmm.
should focus on their young adults and keep parenting them. Like, look at Jason Tatum's mother from the Celtics. Like, she's at every game parenting this dude. He's like 25, or he's like 28 now. But the point is, she's there. And mothers need to do that, not abandon their sons and be like, he's this, he'll be
Not
okay.
abandon your kids, period.
Yeah,
Because at
not
the end of the
parents,
day, you are their guide. Like, if it's not even
Definitely.
about being a parent, you are the guide. You are the safety, the guardrails in terms of like, look, I'm gonna prep you for the real world. While you're here, you're safe and protected, but I can't always protect you when you go out. So what your job is as a parent is that you're instilling the tools in your children to be able to know how to function outside of their safety net, so that they
Mhm.
don't get taken advantage of, so that they see the signs when somebody's being a weirdo and they know to trust their gut. Because the first thing that they want to do, and by they I mean the powers that be and all the distractions that keep us kind of stuck in this BS that we're in currently with being distracted and not listening to ourselves, is to not trust your gut. Look at animals. Animals don't lose their gut instinct because that's their survival. But
Hmm.
humans, You put an iPhone, the latest iPhone, or you put the latest Jordans, and look, I love a Jordan. I'm not gonna hold you, but you put all of these distractions that we lose touch with ourselves and our instinct, our basic instinct that when something's funny, it's funny. When it looks
Straight
like a
fact.
duck, it's a duck. But we've lost the ability to connect to that. So in in being a parent in 2025, just in my opinion, the best thing you can do for your kids is to be the best guide that you can be. But you can only be a good guide when you also break all of the patterns and the conditioning that you grew up with. Because if you don't do that, then you are basically passing that energy over to your kids to have to figure out. And I
That's
can
a
say
fact.
that
Jimmy,
just
Jimmy,
as somebody who did that.
listen to this, right? When I grew up most of my life when I was a kid. I grew up like my father was a drug addict most of my life, right? And my mother was like maintaining the household, you feel me? There was a lot of like chaos. I grew up around a lot of chaos, drug, watch. I used to see my dad behind bars all the time. Like, bro, that's what I used to see my dad
Wow.
as a kid growing up. I saw, my dad got his life together when I was about 12, you feel me? But, as an adult now, it's true what Chimmy says. Like, when I had my kids, they're my everything. My kids are my life. Like, my kids have gone to the Karen Reed thing with me and everything. Like, I think
I seen him out there. Yeah, I seen him.
yeah, my kids have gone with me, bro. Like, I got my kids, I stand 10 toes down on my kid. I don't care how old they are. You know why? Because it's like Chimmy said. And the first thing I did was cut generational curses. That's the
Yes.
first thing you got to do. Cut that out, because like
Mm-hmm.
everything that you grew up with doesn't determine who you are in the future and what you're going to bring to your kids. You feel me? I felt like I didn't need to bring any of that junk with, what I lived through, everything I've been through as a kid growing up. I didn't feel like I needed to bring that into my kids' life, that, I needed to cut those generational curses. You feel me? That was the first thing I did. I stand 10 toes down on this kids on whatever. I like to guide my kids. My kids grew up in the hood. You feel me? We were from Lawrence. Now we're not in Lawrence, but we grew up in the hood. Very smart kids. It's like Chimmy says, we need to speak to our kids since they're young, let them know, the society we live in, everything that's going on, the craziness you can, run into. My kids have seen it all. You feel me? And like, even as an adult now, I have my son that's 20, the other one's going to be 18. I always try to like, always I always give my kids advice, where their safe zone. Parents, the kids need to see us as safe zones. You feel me? Not as the mom, the kid on the titty. I don't mean it like that. We're not mama's boys and mama's girls, not like that. What I mean is this is their safe zone. This is where they gotta come, and they got, and you gotta guide your kids. A lot of people wonder why their kids are doing what the fuck they're doing nowadays, and it's because they don't see what the fuck they've done in their life and show to these kids to become the way they are. And then they're questioning why their kids are behaving and doing the things they're doing. Well, first of all,
Or who they go to bed with, respectfully,
correct.
who they
You
end
gotta
up having
look.
children with.
You gotta
Like
look
that
at
also
that.
comes.
You
That
feel me?
also comes with the territory. Like
Let
if
me
you're
let me
not
take a let
healing.
me take a swerve. Let me take a swerve for 1 second, because we got Becca up in here, and Becca
Yes,
is the
Becca, hi,
cousin.
beautiful.
Hi,
She's the
Becca.
cousin. She's the cover. She's the cousin of Francis Jigalotti.
Hi,
Um,
Becca. I'm sorry
and
for your loss, honey.
Yes, we're
Thank
sorry for
you.
your
Sorry.
loss, my love.
Sorry about that.
and
It's actually
Beck
really nice to listen to you guys talk.
and Becca has a couple of kids too, right? Becca
I have 3.
got 3 kids. God
God
damn, Becca.
bless.
What's it? What 2 girls? How's the dynamic?
It's actually that I have 2 girls, 1 boy. My youngest
Wow.
will be 4 on Wednesday. That's
Oh
really hard
wow.
for
Happy
me
birthday
because I
early.
can't believe
Yeah. Absolutely. So, what's been going on? Is there any new? So, let me ask you this. I love this conversation, but I got to ask this question. So, the behavioral police officer, that her name was Tully, ironically, right?
Carly, oh
right.
Yeah,
God.
isn't it insane?
I know, and then
Another
like, is
Tully in
there
the
a
mix.
connection? Is there any
She
moment in the picture?
allegedly, at first the word came out. I was wrong.
Maybe they're cousins.
I was wrong. Allegedly that she committed suicide. That's what people were saying, and now they're saying
Right.
it's
That's
not.
I mean, that's what we all saw. And like, not for nothing, like I think it was like the Merrimack Valley Stinger that put it out. They're the ones that wrote that they heard it through like EMS fire. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds like they were listening to like a scanner or something to have gotten
Oh,
that information, because it says apparent suicide. Where would that just all of a sudden come from?
oh wow.
suspicious.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. You're
No.
answering the question. So what's going on with that? So have you heard any developments with this unlawful lawful homicide? Like, are we still like not knowing what happened? Like, they still not pressing charges? Like, is a family? What's going on? Do you have any insight you could give us or no?
Okay, so like I know it sounds like insane, but there's literally still nothing. We still have no names. We
That's
still have
crazy.
it's a literally it is insane. That like it's not funny to me, but it's like it's
Yeah.
insane. So what are you gonna
Yeah.
do? Laugh about it because you're joking with me, right?
Right.
Like it's a
Hmm.
joke. We're all in
Right.
on it.
Well,
So
that's kind of funny.
anyway,
That's how I've been feeling all week with all these trolls. I just been laughing at it.
oh yeah, I know, and like that's why I muted myself when I first got on here because honestly, I feel like I have a lot to say. I will say this just to that with like trolling and people trolling JFK and anyone who thinks that like he doesn't want justice for anybody, um, they should educate themselves first because single-handedly you came out and met me and my mom and my aunt
Right.
and
Yep.
Michelle.
Yep.
You hugged us all. You greeted us. You expressed your condolences. And nobody else has done that. So, and that's okay because it's still a new thing, right? So it's time, but it's just like it's
Appreciate
insulting
that.
when I'm watching something and I see someone kind of like bashing you, especially when it's referring to Frankie of all things. Like, don't relate you to Frankie and not wanting justice because I know that you do. And people don't know behind the scenes that we're in touch often and talk to you often. And my mom's always watching your show. She actually asked me today, how come I don't see his face anymore? So,
You know what? I appreciate them words, man. That means a lot to me. And
yeah.
and listen, I don't look for accolades. I do it. It was an awkward situation walking up on that scene. I'm
Yeah,
seeing
no.
the families there. It was early on. It was still July. I think it was like a week. I think it was like a week after or
Right.
something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
A couple of weeks, if that. And like
Right.
I know, like I don't know Jigger. I know my man Easy Money, from Haverhill. I know
Hmm.
terminology from Lawrence. That's my right hand man. I mean, I know, I know people from there. And I'm from Lynn. I know the vibes, and I'm just
Right.
like, man, I got to walk up to parents. So I was just as nervous, walking up there, and then I talked to Too Tall, and he made me feel cool because he's a
Yeah.
real
He's
great
awesome.
guy. And but yeah, man, I seen what I seen, and that no one's gonna tell me I didn't see what I saw, and that's just what it comes down to. I
Right.
don't care, I don't care if dudes are on drugs. I don't care. Listen, I had panic attacks. I felt weird. I've been around for a little while now. I talk to people all day. I said this story the other day. I put a video up probably recently. Where I was in Lynn by the shelter, and there was a dude outside, and I talked to him. I gave him a couple of bucks. I told him to go get a coffee, and I told him straight up. I said, "Listen, if you stay out, and I do this all the time, and Kevy Kev will tell you, I don't do it for accolades. I do it because I care. I'll pull up to somebody and I'll say, "Listen, here's a couple of dollars, but can I give you some information without stepping on your neck? Because I don't like nobody stepping on my neck." And I'll say to them, if they're out there messed up on the fentanyl, I'll tell them straight up, "Listen, if you stay out in these streets, you're gonna end up dying out here." You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I'm just letting you know, right? So I don't, what I seen with Jigger, and I seen how scared he was, and I seen the videos and all that, and I seen the way the police handle it. I seen what I saw, and I don't like that shit. Period. And
Right.
someone needs, and I got a platform now, so I'm gonna use it for the right thing.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for that. Like single-handedly. Like that's not just coming from me, that's coming from my entire family.
I
Like we do.
appreciate
Listen,
that.
My
Becca, I want
family,
to
like
tell
my
you
whole
something.
family watches you. My
I want to say
uncle,
something to
my
Becca.
mom, my cousins, like all everybody. They're watching. So
I wanna say something to
Yeah,
you, Becca. Listen, as a sister of a current drug addict brother that lives on the streets of Lawrence, and I've helped him multiple times, it doesn't matter as to the reason if he was high or he was having anxiety, whatever. At the end of the day, it's a life that's lost, and their life matters
Mm-hmm.
just as much as any other person. That's the way I feel about
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
And I
I
think it's
agree with that
disgusting
110%.
watching people talking crap and throwing, their little, comments out there just saying some stupid shit without knowing. Like at the end of the day, people won't be commenting like that and saying stuff like that if it was a family member of theirs. It doesn't matter at the end of the day what was the reason. It's the point that what happened to him is unjust. And he
Right.
was alive and his life matters anyways. He has family that loved him. At the end of the day, that's the way I see it. And I respect JFK for saying that he out here talking to the people that are on the streets, and you're not trying to step on their neck, and you give them some advice. Like, that's the type of people I appreciate, because I have a brother currently on the streets, you feel me? And I always try to get him help. I've helped him multiple times, but they need to want it, you feel me? But at the end of the day, he's still a living soul. He's still a living life. And people have to
Mm-hmm.
respect that. And they have family members that love them and care for them. And people should respect that. But nowadays, people don't got respect for other people's feelings. They don't have empathy for people. That's just growing cold nowadays. You feel me? And I'm really
Hmm.
sorry for your loss. I really am.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, if I may, JFK, like, I mean, Becca, first of all, like, my condolences to you and your family as well. And just know that justice will always be served in one way or another. It may take time, but just know that, you have the right people in your corner praying for you. And no matter what happens, justice will come. And that's just one thing that you should always hold faith over. We may not know how it comes and what form, but things always end up working out in the end, where you're like, you know what? This is exactly what needed to happen in the way that it needed to happen. And we will get the justice that we deserve. So just keep strong. And I hope that you and your family, I send my love and my prayers to them as well, because, it is difficult, but you got the right people in your corner supporting you and praying for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Of course.
Listen, girl, God don't sleep. God don't sleep.
Listen,
He has
God
child
works
open on
all
this
the
earth.
time, honey.
Yeah, he don't
Absolutely.
sleep, girl. So anything that's wrong will be made right. Trust.
That's right.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I'm definitely a firm believer in karma as well. So, and think with that what you may, you know what I mean? I know that the universe works itself out for a reason, and everything does happen for a reason, and it it's a lot. Like I don't know. I had something I was gonna say and I kind of lost my train of thought. It will come back to me, but that happens to me. Sorry, guys.
All
That's
right.
okay.
But thank you so much. And listening to you guys talk about, because I have a lot to say, I feel like I'm going to jump around a lot, but um, listening to you guys talk about postpartum and just like being a mother and all that stuff, like absolutely 100%. And like everything that you guys said, being a mom is hard. It is not easy. I have been at home with my kids, thankfully, for a good portion of their younger years. I go back to work off and on part time. I still consider part time like being at home with them, if that makes sense. But anyway, um, and it's hard. It's really hard. Each one of my children are 3 years apart from each other. So, it's their age differences too. It's not even just about age differences, but I will say this: I'm lucky to have three beautiful, amazing, intelligent, caring, empathetic, compassionate children that love everybody. And they, whenever I go to their schools and stuff, it's always, your daughter has a smile that brightens up the entire school, makes everyone happy. Like those are things that you want to hear as a parent, even when you're exhausted. But I will say that, like, I didn't feel like I went through postpartum with my first until after I had my second, and I realized that I definitely did. Like I definitely was.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. And okay, another thing. See, this is where I'm going to bounce around, guys, because
All right.
postpartum, right? Before I became a mom, postpartum to me was like I don't know, what do you say, disclaimer here, right?
Yeah,
Is
throw
like
up a disclaimer. Do
people
it for me.
people
Disclaimer. There we
I'm
go.
holding
Let's
up
get
one
it.
hand, so disclaimer, like women like kind of like smothering their babies or like beating them and stuff. That's what I thought postpartum was, right? So when you hear, oh, you're postpartum, what are you talking about? I love my baby. Like, you know what I mean? That's what, like, there's like a stigma tied to that too, is that like people are aggressive or that they hate their babies or something. And that's not it either. Like you can just be, I don't know. It's not. And you're only asked if you need help. Like from my experience, you're only asked how you're doing at your 6-week checkup. Like there's no,
Mm-hmm.
how are you doing 6 months later? How about a year later? I think that it should be every
And
month,
then can
even
I
if
say,
it.
can I jump in right there one second? And that's the thing, right? Jail, institution, and deaths, right? Like to segue back into that, because that's what it is, right? Like it's a rigid system. You have
Mhm.
babies, and that's it. You okay? Okay, here's a Motrin. See you later. You know, and
Literally.
it's just a rigid system, and it goes whether you're caught up in it criminally or you're caught up in it with babies or you know, or whatever how you live in it. It's still a system, and it's rigid and it's dark. It can get real dark. Go ahead, Becca. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And then but then like to back to kind of like what I was saying about like, you know, like postpartum and stuff, kind of like how I thought of it is like with my first, I guess it's more or less like I was in denial. Like I definitely don't have postpartum. Like I'm not like that, you know, but then when I had my second child and I was just like more just like very like crying, not sad. I was very happy, like, you know, and I adjusted well, but just like, I don't know, like it just definitely was different. It was hard to adjust to two children. And I think it's hard to say that you need help because there's like these things attached to it. Like people don't want to say, oh, I'm feeling this way, or it's, you know, hey, I'm feeling a little depressed. And then it's like, okay, here's Zoloft. You know, that's the go-to of being depressed. Here's some Zoloft. You're depressed, it's Zoloft. You're irritable, here's some Zoloft. Oh, you're postpartum, here you go, here's Zoloft. It's like
and anxiety meds too, and anxiety meds real quick. They're real quick for a pill.
It's like
they don't get to the root of what the problem is, and the problem is more compassion and more understanding. And also, like, I know someone in the chat had said, I think it was after David had mentioned about the dads also go through this process too, because can you imagine, like, you know, the guys are like, oh wow, like I'm gonna have a kid, oh no, the mom is like really down and depressed and I don't know what to do. Like they're kind of looking at the mom for guidance too on like what to do, because you're supposed to naturally do it.
I'm sorry.
No,
You want to
okay.
talk? You want to talk to that? You got a couple of kids. You know what I mean? You got a couple of small ones too. Like that's a great. Like, how do you feel about that? Did that ever affect you? Like, did you ever realize, like, oh shit, like I'm depressed?
You know, I seen it. I mean, my whole life just changed dramatically. You know, I mean, shit. I mean, I literally, I literally.
He can't even explain it. It's hard.
It is. It is.
You know, you know why the women's energy transmits into the men's energy. Like people don't understand. Like when you're one with a person, when you're with your partner, whatever energy she has transmits into the other partner. Believe it or not.
You know, I mean, it was just a big change in my life. I mean, I'll tell you the I can remember, like, you know, I mean, and we're talking about responsibilities too. I mean, you know, you know, my wife didn't go back to work for about 6 years, you know. My whole life just changed. I mean, I can remember, I mean, me and JFK have had talks, like I can remember battling with health insurance companies. Like
break that down, man. You said something real good to me earlier. Go ahead, say that if you can repeat that. I told you to repeat it on the show.
Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I mean, you know, if you're not making a certain amount of money, or if you even are making a certain amount of money, like I broke it down to JFK, like, you know, you might fall into a bracket where you have like a network plan or mass health or the neighborhood health. And
there's too many options.
You can't even have a paper route. You cannot even have a paper route, and they're gonna cancel your ass.
That's straight fact.
And that's what this show brings, awareness. If anything, people want to talk about corruption, this and that, whatever. And all at the end of the day is you got to have awareness before you can even think about corruption. You got to see corruption for what it is before you could talk about it. So you got to be aware when you see it, right? And that's what it is. This shit is crazy. Like, listen, I had cancer, right? And I got lucky. And I didn't even realize this. I didn't realize this because when I got diagnosed with cancer, right, which it came on fast. Like it wasn't like, hey, you know, when you get cancer, right? God bless everybody who ever been through some shit like that too. But like it's something you don't plan on that shit, you know, obviously. And it's just like, and they move fast. Like you got to do surgery. Like you're just lined up on an itinerary that you didn't know Like oh shit, like I gotta like in 1 month I gotta go do scans, I gotta go get blood work, I gotta be at the doctor's mercy. And like and I let's face it, I don't want, I'm scared of that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm going through scans and this and that, going through surgeries. And but at the end of the day, I was lucky because when I found out I had cancer, it was still through the pandemic time. So I had, so they kind of like, I got on a plan where I could pay for the surgery, but I didn't realize that until after I got off. The pandemic went out the window and I went back to reapply for the same type of health care that I had. And they were like, nah, you can't even get that, period. And I'm like, damn, but I had it for this. And they're like, nah, not no more, pandemic's over. So in all, I got lucky. But the people that it's so hard with health insurance, and that's the system for you,
That is the system. And I mean, and these are the obstacles that we I mean, never mind. I mean, let's just break it down with let's talk about the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I mean, rental prices, housing, healthcare, daycare. I mean, you want to put your 2 kids in daycare and pay for that shit for that's big money. Big money.
Yeah, definitely. Daycare is very expensive.
And to have someone else watch your kid and trust a stranger to watch your child, I know about that. Like,
and let's talk about real quick though, like where we're at with the spectrums with kids though. ADHDs and all these different quirks. Like the mothers, what they go through, they sit down and they talk these kids off the ledge. Like, like I see mothers who have these kids who have ADHD or they're on the spectrum. And be clear, like we were brought up where the spectrum was like, it was like shamed, right? Like
it was taboo.
It was taboo. Now it's like there's so many levels of the spectrum, and dare I say, we're a misdiagnosed generation. Because I'm seeing a lot of quirky motherfuckers now. Like, yo, man, you need to control your quirks, bro. You're swearing around women.
But that's JFK.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I'm sorry, right? I'm on a rant.
No,
I'll pass the mic back to the ladies. Do my ladies run this mother? Hold on, right?
Hell yeah.
But I'll say this. One of my boys, he gets with this. I haven't seen him for years, right? And he gets with a girl and he moves in with her and he's got everything going on with her. And within 20 minutes, we're out at the bar and he was like, hold on a minute, I got to take a call. And he was like, it's my bitch calling. And he comes back to the bar and I said, yo, bro, you just called your girl. You just got done telling me how much you love this girl and you live with her and she changed your life and you just called her a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, you couldn't switch up your diet. So I told him, I said, you got to change your dialogue, bro. You can't be calling your girl a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, yo, that's my bitch. Like, what? Like, come on, bro, stop it. But like, these are the things, like, and it's like we should be suing these record labels, man, for the music that came out back then because we thought it was okay to just say shit like that off the chest, and it's not. It's just not. So the real,
half of them are backdoor buddies over there in the music industry, but that's a whole other conversation.
But go ahead, ladies, go ahead, take it away.
What I will say, if I may,
about like diagnosed children and stuff, like my son, he had ADHD growing up, like, so we found out after, and that takes a toll on women's life. I'm telling you, all these diagnoses we got to deal with the kids, like for real. Like my son, it was tough dealing with it, and it was like draining for me as a mother, I'm sure it was draining, to his father as well. You feel me? It takes a toll. Like that's a good point, JFK, you made. Like we're not even considering like all the women and fathers that have children that have all these diagnoses and the emotions they go through and what they're feeling, but they need to keep it 10 toes down because they got to keep it there, be strong for their babies. You feel me? And that's a good point you made out there. And let's not even go back to all the undiagnosed people. That's definitely like, because it was nothing back in the day. Nobody ever saw nobody as like having any type of diagnoses. It was just like nothing. There's a whole bunch of undiagnosed people nowadays to let you know.
And to segue back into, like, I got attacked last week, right? And I ain't gonna bring up the dude's name, but I asked him if he had a mental health issue, and people were like, "How dare you? You mental health shame?" And I'm like, "Listen, I'm from a place where my boy, has got a pocket full of pills, and he tells me every 5 minutes he's bipolar." like I'm just from a rugged place where like that's like a legit question.
JFK,
You know what I mean?
you are on point with that because let me tell you something, if I may. The problem that we've created with mental health in this society is that everyone thinks that everyone else is responsible for their safe space. Respectfully, your safe space is your problem. Hence why I'm not over here looking at you and thinking that, look, I have ADHD. My therapist was like, yeah, you got ADHD. All right, Beth. So how do I heal myself from that? What do I need to do? All right, I started
Right.
meditating. I started journaling. I started working out a little bit more. I started doing
Are
what
you
I
in the
needed
gym
to
right now
do.
doing pull-ups talking to us? Hold on, man.
Listen, I wish I could do a pull-up, but you know what? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But what I am doing is that the thing is, for you to heal from your problems is for you to have the awareness that you have it, right? It's the
Facts.
same thing as
Yep.
anybody who has an
Accept it. Like
addiction or
learn to
anything
accept what
like
you
that.
got. Yeah.
Exactly. So ADHD is an impulse thing, right? It's a part of your brain that lacks the ability to have impulse control. But also ADHD, like if you tell me, yo, research this topic, I'm going down 80 rabbit holes and writing you a freaking essay. So but I'm not medicated. I don't believe personally, in my opinion, no offense to anybody, I don't believe in medication because I think that it can amplify things in a negative way. That's just my own personal opinion, and it's no disrespect to anyone who chooses that. But I do think that there are natural ways to use it as a superpower. Like if you need me to knock out a project, the ADHD comes in clutch. Okay, like I am doing that.
And
However,
that's what like manic behavior, right? I always compare it, and I hate that this is a bad comparison, but I tell my boys this, but I'll release it to the chat. But by no means, I think I think the parallel is pretty rugged when I say this parallel. But I'm gonna say it because we're all just kicking it. But I'll tell you, manic behavior, right? Like you get in a manic zone, right? And like after what happened this week, right? You know you can attack and get crazy, right? And you feel this manic power, right? Like your body's going through something. You know you kind of can identify this your phone's a little crackly, Becca, but that's okay. I muted you up for a second. But you can identify it. You don't know what it is, but you know you're in this manic behavior, right? And if you could spot it, like you said, you could use it to your advantage. And I'll do a perfect example because the thing about manic behavior, if you don't know you're in a manic state, when you think you're up, you're really down. Because what happens is you're so up, right? And then you crash and then you don't know how to pick yourself back up, right? So I always parallel it to my boy, and I say to him, to one of my boys, I said, think about the pilot that had Kobe Bryant and that all the families in that helicopter back before the world turned to shit. Because right after Kobe died, the whole fucking world just went to shit, right? So, and they're in the helicopter, and the dude is in a manic state, right? He's disorientated, and he's thinking he's gonna get out of this storm, and he's got to rely on the instrument panel, which you gotta like look at, like, because when people, I'm a pilot, everybody knows I'm a pilot, right? You know, I'm a YouTube pilot, but anyway, that's I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying?
39,000 feet.
Right, 39,000 feet, right? So, but here's the thing: like when you're flying commercial airlines, your whole game is just reading the instruments. It's like you're not seeing shit. Like you're flying 500 miles per hour, and you're just saying there's nothing in front of us. You got to have pretty good confidence that there's nothing in front of you. You know what I mean? We're going 600. How do you know there ain't something in front of us?
Yeah.
How do you like? You can't hit the brakes. God damn, Kevby Kev, turn this thing around, right? But what I'm saying is, this guy who was flying the helicopter, he didn't when he had to rely on the instruments, his mind was in a manic set, and the instrument panels was on point. They were telling him, you're low, and he's like, nah, there's no way I'm low, I'm high. I know I'm high, because that's what he was feeling. And then when the clouds broke, you know, we all know what happens next. So my point is, you got to recognize you're in that manic, disorientated state and rely on your baselines, your positive baselines. You got to say, all right, listen, I'm in this state of mind. How did I get through it the last time? You got to have positive baselines and implement them and take them positive baselines to get you back on track. Because if you don't have any positive baselines, a survival kit to get you through it, every time you fall off track, you can't get back on the baseline to get to where you need to go. And that's the thing. A lot of these cats, they think are positive baselines. They don't have a survival kit because they ain't never survived shit. They really
Right,
just
because
clowns. You know what I mean? So it's just something to think
yes,
about, you know?
I like what Chimmy
100%.
was saying. I like what Chimmy was saying. Like the first thing we need to do is recognize we have an issue. Like I recognize I have anxiety. So I recognize it in 2019. I was having, I was out in public having panic attacks. I couldn't be out in public in stores and all this stuff. I recognized it. At first, I didn't recognize it because you're going through this panic state, right? With time, throughout the years, like, because it's like she says, like doctors will be real quick to give you pills. Here you go. This is gonna fix it. What about at the beginning? I'm not gonna lie, they started giving medication, but you know what? The withdrawal symptoms off of those medications are 10 times worse than what you're going through. You feel me?
Facts.
But
Yeah.
then I was just like they cold turkey took me off of the medication, which was just nuts to me. Like I thought I was gonna die. But at the end of the day, I recognized I had an issue. I learned how to ground myself. And when I'm having a moment like that, I recognize the symptoms that are coming on, leading on to that. You got to recognize also the symptoms that you're starting to have. Let it be ADHD, a panic attack, a manic episode. You have to recognize first you have a problem, then you have to recognize the symptoms. So what's leading to it? What's causing your episode? You got to also recognize that what's going to cause you to have that episode. And then I learned how to ground myself. Thank God today I don't take no type of medication. When I feel just a little bit of that, when I feel just like I'm going to have a panic attack, like I couldn't be in crowds like the Free Karen Reed movement. I couldn't even be in crowds like that. Thank God I'm like out of that. Like I don't have to be like worried that I'm going to be out in public and having this panic attack just break out. You feel me? I know when the symptoms are coming on. So we have to recognize that. And I learned to ground myself. It's like Chimmy said, you learn different ways of coping with it, different ways of dealing with it, whether it's working out, reading, listening to music. My thing, I love listening to music. So I'll be bumping music. But like that's why I like coming on this show, because you guys be bumping music and dancing. So and I learned how to ground myself, and now I know how to recognize how to deal with the situation. And like JFK said, there's a lot of people that are undiagnosed out there. They don't recognize they have an issue. You feel me?
We got is it Yaya?
Yeah.
What's up, Yaya?
Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's happening, Yaya? What you want to talk about? You want to swing it around? You want to say something? You've been listening?
No, I can actually add in. First of all, this panel has been great. The whole show's been great, especially after the last week and a half of whatever. But I'm 45 and I was diagnosed with ADHD, depression, all that shit like 4 years ago. And I will say, like, figuring out what is actually your ADHD tendencies and not learned behaviors, because like everybody in my family had it, but I was the one who never got diagnosed, is like it's really hard to figure out what's learned behavior and what's just your natural stuff. But I ended up on meds, and no offense to anybody who doesn't take them or who does, but after not being on anything for all those years, it's much better for me to be on something.
That's all right.
But
that's all right. Everybody deals with it a different way.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get to a point where I don't have to be on something, or maybe do something more natural.
But can I tell you something? Do you have anxiety?
I do, but it was never anxiety like my friends or family had, so I didn't think I had it.
But do you have like panic?
No, my anxiety is more paralyzing. So it's like a calm state of, I have a list of things to do, and I will just mentally, I call it cycling. I don't know what the real term is, but like where I'm just going over and over and over and over. And that's what I did all through college, like not understanding why I couldn't get my work done. It's because I'd have 5 classes and I would just go over it, everything I had to do. And then the ADHD, like start one thing, then, oh wait, I have this test, that. So I'm better at recognizing it now.
Dope. Good for you, girl.
It's still, it's still obviously. Like,
and I just want to say, can I just say this? Anybody who's dealing with panic and anxiety in the chat right now, I just want you to tell you something, right? I'm going to give you some advice for someone who used to deal with that. First off the bat, you can get yourself a Fitbit, and you can always look at your heart rate. Listen, I was on a flight recently, right? Because I fly a lot, right? Because you guys know I'm a pilot. So I was on this flight, and I'm talking about this flight this turbulence. Like it just wasn't. It honestly, it makes me never want to get on a plane again. But I'll tell you, It was tough, but I was looking at my Fitbit and my heart rate was at 70, but I was in a full blown panic. Like I felt that, that feeling, fight or flight. Like I was ready to take the, like I was, but I'm looking at,
You
and I'm
wanted to
thinking,
take the wheel. You wanted to take the wheel at that point.
and I was just like, yeah, but my heart rate's only at 70, so I'm like,
It's all
that
upstairs,
Fitbit's,
JFK.
that Fitbit saved me. You know what I mean? Saved me. I
Because
just
otherwise
kept
you just would have spiraled about anything
I
that
would
would
have
happen.
spiraled, man. Compulsive behavior is like, compulsive thinking, excuse me. So that's one thing. Second thing is, when you're getting anxiety and you feel your conscience talking to you, it gets scary, right? When that little voice gets in the back of your head, like, hey, right? And you feel that voice saying, I ain't shit, man. Stop judging people, man. Be good to people. And you hear that little voice, and you start getting a little panicky and you realize there's life and death. And hey, today could be your last day. Oh, it's spooky. Halloween is coming. Holy shit. What am I feeling right now? I can't go to sleep. I am bugging. I can't even pick up my remote control because I can feel the remote in my hand. It feels weird. Oh my God, why does it, like, you're just wigging out, right?
Yep.
And guess what? Maybe it's not anxiety. Maybe it's God talking to you, man. Maybe you're blessed. Maybe you have compassion. Maybe you are chosen. Maybe, like, it is what it is. Let God take the wheel and just fall the fuck back and enjoy the ride, people. Because at the end of the day, it's God first. And then that's what it comes down to. And I ain't trying to throw the religion on people, but that's how I coped with it. Fear not. Accept it. It is what it is. Have baselines. If you're in the gym doing burpees and your heart rate's at 170, let me tell you something. I can assure you, if you get through a burpee workout at 170, you ain't going to die when your heart rate's at 105. I'm just saying. You got to just put shit into perspective. And like what do you call it? The unforgettable?
The unforgettable.
Yeah, like she said, and you are unforgettable, by the way, right? And at the end of the day, like, you got to have them baselines, what gets you through it, through each of them times. But yeah, I appreciate you sharing. I just wanted to add that real quick.
Yeah, and I'll add to that if I can. One of the best pieces of advice that somebody gave me when I was learning about my anxiety and my last depression, which was a while ago, is that you can't control that you're in a depression, right? Or anxiety you can't control either, but at least it's a little bit different where you can at least try in the time, like if you're having a panic attack. But with depression, there are things you can control, like how much sleep you get, what you're eating, do you have your vitamins, do you have the natural stuff. But the number one thing is helping others. So, when you're feeling that panic or you're feeling that anxiety or that depression, is do whatever you can to help other people. And it's like a natural, it sounds so stupid, but it's like a natural, most people feel good when you help others, right?
Right.
You have a good feeling.
And
right?
I love that you said that. I love that you just said that.
The more that you help people, the more endorphins you get. And it can kind of, not for everybody, but it can kind of help with that depression.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And you know what? Like, I will say, if I may add to that, there is an importance of getting back to the roots of showing compassion to one another, especially you may not be the person like in your own family who might be able to deliver the message. Like, I can speak from my own experience. I am a enabler of dysfunction, and I didn't even realize that was a thing until I was like, oh shit, even when you want to help someone, they don't want it, and you got to eat it. You got to let them fail. But there might be somebody else who may need it, and you might be the right person at the right time who delivers a message that they needed in that moment.
Redirect.
So exactly, you redirect that energy, and you don't allow for the moments where you get rejected or you're unseen or unheard to harden your heart. Because that's it. Ultimately, like, look, I'm not a religious person either, but look, the devil, el diablo, is real. Okay, he's everywhere. He is dying. He is dying for an opportunity to come in and cause some chaos. And he dirty as
dirty.
So in that respect, it's recognizing that the ultimate way for you to betray yourself is to go against what you were put on this earth here to do. And you have a heart for
and
a
guess
reason.
what? And I'll just say this, and that's corruption. You know what I mean? Like, when you corrupt yourself, like self-sabotaging yourself You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. Self-sabotage is real. And I don't mean to cut you, but I want to pass the mic to Kevy Kev, because this guy's been trying to talk this poor bastard.
I'm sorry,
Kevy,
Kevy
what do you
Kev,
want to say?
the man
Yeah,
of the
Kevy
hour.
Kev.
Ay Dios.
Nah,
Ay,
nah.
oh my God.
Kevy
I
Kev
feel
loves
you,
the
Kevy
ladies.
Kev.
Kevy loves the ladies, so he's letting them
So
run the
listen,
show. Go ahead, Kev.
nah, I mean, and I'm listening to the panel, and I'm saying to myself, like, I live this, all right. Um, and it seems like, you guys have like kind of like self-diagnosed yourself. I'm at a later age,
Right.
you know. Um, well, my son was born 11 weeks early, and it was tough. And the little dude, he was in Mass General for like a month and a half. We couldn't take him home. The week before my wife gave labor, she was bedridden in Mass General for 7 days. Trying to help this little dude get his lungs developed, and
Goddamn.
steroids and shit. And I sat at this round table in Mass General, and my little guy, he had a brain bleed in his brain that it just wasn't clotting for him at first, and it was just, they told me straight out, like, these symptoms and this, what's gone on with this brain bleed. I mean, these ADHD, autism, um, you know, there's things that come along with that, and I will say this, as my son was, going through 1-2 years old, my wife, she was an infant toddler teacher. She's in early childhood education, and she's been in it for 20 years.
So she's the best. I mean, right there.
She's seen these signs, and this is, I mean,
take your time, brother.
This woman's amazing. All right, she's seen these signs with him, with him meeting his milestones, with him meeting certain things at certain ages, and she kept telling me, like Kev, like, something's up, and I couldn't accept it. You understand? Like, I think that's what happened, 20 years ago with our parents. And I had a hard time accepting it, and I knew at that round table that these were the consequences of an early labor. The fight he went through, in the hospital, and it was very hard for me to accept it. And now at this stage, I mean, my little guy's, he's in the second grade. I mean, he's a smart kid. He's fully developed. He's gone beyond that, but he's got ADHD.
But it's probably, he's gone beyond it because, like, things happen for a reason. He had your wife as a mom and you as a father. She saw these things. She knew them. That was her career.
We were able to adapt with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely.
And and to now be able to, accept it. Like, right now he's in school, and we were talking about schools, me and JFK, and a lot of schools want to self-diagnose, want to evaluate, and we were ready for this. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of families, and I say, like, my parents, I probably have ADHD. You know what I'm saying? But I think, like, it was very hard to read those signs, years ago. Like, when they were come from an era that were misdiagnosed, or, it's just tough. It is tough. I mean, and it's tough, and learning as I'm going along how to adapt and make things, approachable for my son a lot easier. It's made a huge improvement, and I feel like the sooner a child understands, like at a younger age, like, when I'm talking like maybe by the time he's 9 or 10 years old, he'll be able to, understand his own little quirks. You know what I'm saying? And, and be able to work off of that, which I think at a later age, I mean, he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just I'm listening to you guys and I'm saying to myself, like, like you went to college and
it wasn't easy.
You guys are parents and mothers. You know what I'm saying? And that's big. You know what I'm saying?
Kevby Kev, I will say, my mom and my sister both work in the Boston Public School. Well, my mom's retired, but my sister's a special ed high school teacher. And when this, not for every case, but when the school gets involved and if they do the IEPs and everything, it can be definitely in your favor because, they can get the care. But if they come up with something you don't agree with, you can go get, I don't know if it's Tufts, one of the big hospitals, you can bring your child there and get like a different or another diagnosis or another opinion, a second opinion to help them.
I believe the IEPs, they set forth a good program that
Definitely,
works.
I agree with that.
Yep.
That works with your child and stuff like that.
It's hard to understand and get your hands on, but
it helps the kids,
Look,
follow through with school and in life in general. I think that's the best thing they came up with, the IEPs. They kind of like look at the kids, their strengths, and they look at their weaknesses, and they ask the parents' input. They ask, the teachers' input, and they come up with a plan. It's wonderful for the kids. And, I heard Kevby kept talking about his son. Like he said, he's intelligent, smart. Like as he grows older, he's going to learn all the little quirks that's going to help him grow. My son, he's going to be 18 and he learned how to deal with his ADHD. He likes boxing. He likes, jogging. He likes working out, but his main goal is boxing. And that's how he deals with his ADHD. He keeps himself focused. He draws. He likes drawing.
That's
Like that.
amazing. Look, like I'm in a unique position. I'm probably the only person that homeschools my child. So I have a little bit of a different experience with that. And I took, my husband and I took the initiative to want to pursue that because, where we are currently, we just didn't believe that the education system was going to be beneficial for a child like ours. And our daughter is, she's an Aries like Kevby Kev, but also she's just like a more creative being.
I'm an Aries too. I'm an Aries.
Stop, yo, all Aries gang. But like I will say that, she's a very creative spirit. And if we have the opportunity to be able to be her, because look, parents are the children's first teacher. And the more that you can kind of dedicate, if you're able to, your time and energy into your child's education to make their experience here on earth that much more fulfilling, if you're able to do it. Because, no one's going to understand your child like you are. And I know that that's a very privileged position for me to even speak on because I know it's not afforded to everybody.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact.
Like I know that where I'm at is a very different position. But you know what?
You
That
know
also
what,
comes with
though?
sacrifice.
You know what though? I'll say this though. I like the fact that like when like my little daughter, like she got her little ways about it, but I like like she doesn't like a lot of people, but I like that, because she loves me, and so it's like it kind of, it's like you said, like it's a bond though too, and it's like you got to work them through things, and that's parenting, and it takes a lot out of you, especially if you're going through something and you don't know you're going through something,
But you know
at
what?
any
Those kids will be there to be the first ones to show you that none of your problems are as big or as serious when you look at this little person and how much life they bring and how much pure energy they give you, that it's like, yo, like at the end of the day, like my childhood doesn't have to be yours.
So I know that I want to better myself to be the best version of myself so that you can also continue on that path and
But
be
it's like
better.
the same. It's like the same shit they say though. There's one thing that remains true. If you got liquor in your fridge and you're smoking blunts around your kid, and listen, I ain't judging nobody, but I'm just saying, like, if you're doing that stuff around your kids, like that's what your kids see, and that's what they end up doing, right? Like, it's just like sometimes it's simple shit. You know what I mean? It's really not. It's it's like if there's a stop sign, you stop. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes it's just the simple things. But we got Halo Girl 208 in here. You want to say something?
Yeah.
Halo Girl.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. First of all, I want to say I don't know if you heard me on Claire's show the other night or last night, JFK, but I want to apologize. I was a little petty in what I said, and I apologize.
That's fine. That's fine. We don't care about that. It's all good, man. We all go through what we go through. It's all good.
Peace and love.
But Kevby Kev, I'm also a NICU parent. We had twins. They thankfully were not born as early as your son, but they were in the NICU for 9 days, and it was the longest 9 days of my life. Like having them in there, and we had a 1-year-old at the time, so she was like super duper confused, and now she just bosses them around.
Nice.
She's almost 5 and they're almost 3, but also my son, our son, has a overgrowth syndrome that 4 of my
Hold on.
kids.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, I had those mini beers bottles for summer in my fridge for months. My kid was like 9, comes out with one almost crying, asking me if I'm an alcoholic. I don't even drink. That's mad funny. I'm sorry for cutting you off. That was probably the wrong time and for cutting you off. I'm sorry. I just thought that was funny. Go ahead. Sorry, sweetheart.
It's okay. It's okay. Um, but anyway, so 4 of my kids actually have it, and it varies in severity. Like my oldest daughter, she's 20. She's working. She's productive, and my oldest son is 2, but he's also 6'11". So like that's where the overgrowth like comes in with that. But like with my youngest son, he is the most severe of the 4, and he is nonverbal, and but he is so smart, like so smart, and he knows what you're saying, and he uses the fact that he can't speak sometimes to pretend that he doesn't know what you're saying.
Oh,
That's how smart he is.
That's right.
And but yeah, so
Sure. Can
there's
I ask you
that.
a question? Can I ask you a question? Are you okay? How you doing?
Well, like I said in the private chat, I also deal with. I have it too, so I
I didn't.
have
I didn't.
the.
I didn't get the private chat. I'm sorry.
Oh,
So
okay.
you might.
Well,
Do you
I
mind
also.
share? Do you mind sharing? I'm sorry if that
Yeah,
question's
yeah,
too
yeah.
hard.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
I also have the Weavers. Um, not very severe. But I have. I also have a mom, a sister, and aunt that all have bipolar. They are all bipolar. And I've never been diagnosed as bipolar, but I have been diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and PTSD due to stuff that happened to me when I was a child. And somebody mentioned like medication and the natural stuff, and believe me, I wish I still lived at home. I could get it more often because it helped. It did. But like I just recently went back on anxiety meds and depression meds because like it's like you were saying, JFK, where like I will be so amped up that my heart rate will be like really, really like normal, like lower than normal for most people, but my anxiety will be so high that like I can't get words out. It's like the other night where I couldn't like think of the words. Like that's where my anxiety comes in. Where I love talking to people, but sometimes like things just don't come out, and it like makes my anxiety even higher. And like, but yeah, it's. I was off of meds for like 5 years before I went back on, but I can definitely tell the difference, and I think part of me thinks that I'm better. I do better with the meds, even though they make me really tired, and which is really hard with like little kids. But you know, I still don't go to sleep till 2 a.m., which is convenient because your guys' panels are usually running till like at least 3 o'clock my time. So you know,
Period.
Nothing with that sleep, JFK.
right?
Wild.
But
You spoke on the 9 days, and it was the longest 9 days that you ever went through. I was I know what you're talking about because my son was born February 12th, and a beautiful ending. They allowed me to take him home on Easter Sunday. Easter.
Oh, wow.
So he stayed in the hospital since from February 12th to April. I want to say it was like April 22nd. So it was 2 months of my wife breastfeeding, going there at 4 a.m, 10:30 in the morning.
mm-hmm.
Then she would pump, and I would go through the whole night shift. I would stay there all night, and I was able to feed him with a syringe for 4 weeks. That's how he was fed. It was the longest, the longest, painfulest in my heart, like to leave. I didn't. Yeah, even though when I left and came home, she was up and ready to go. My wife, and we had a daughter at the time too. She was they're only a year apart, so it was tough. It was tough, and both of my kids today are healthy. They're both in sports. JFK will tell you, my son, he's running shit over here. So, I feel that pain from that 9 days that you went through. I understand that. I'll tell you, and it's hard. It's hard to accept. I remember. I remember when they said to my wife, like, because they don't want her in the hospital. Once she was done, it was like, all right, yep, your 3 days are here. You're up. You're out. And it was like we stood there, and she didn't want to get in the elevator. Like, she didn't want to leave that hospital without her baby.
They kick moms out so quickly.
And it was so tough.
Yes, they do.
The walk from the big doors in front of Mass General to that parking garage. We must have stopped fucking 40 times. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to leave, and it was so tough, man. But she's a strong woman, let me tell you.
Can you guys hear me? I just want to ask, like, am I coming in good right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I hope I'm not interrupting. I just feel
No,
like
go ahead. Rock the mic. Go ahead. Rock that shit.
So my cousin, just to speak to like the NICU story, none of my children thankfully did not have to go to the NICU, but my cousin, I went with her to a random appointment one day. She was 35 weeks pregnant, didn't think anything of it. It was a regular routine appointment. They were like, oh, we're going to have to send you in for what's called a non-stress test, right? So they moved us from one room to another in the doctor's office. They gave her a non-stress test and everything was like, they were like, just talking to us like everything's fine. They're like, hey, don't freak out, but we're going to send you to the hospital just to like, you know, get an ultrasound done. Like everything's fine. Don't freak out. You're not having your baby today. And then we get to the hospital. They do an ultrasound for an hour. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I'm like, is she really about to have this baby? And they literally walked in the room. She was I think just barely 35 weeks pregnant. I think she was 34 and 6 days. And the doctor was like, hi, I'm going to deliver your baby. And my cousin is like, what, when? And she's like, in about 20 minutes. And it was extremely traumatic to see so it was interesting to see from not the mother's point of view, but like, I don't want to call myself the father, but I played the father role in the hospital. Like I was with her the whole time. The doctors had told me kind of before they told her that, you know, she wasn't going to be able to go home with him, that he's going to have to stay in the NICU for a little while because he needed to develop more. And watching her go through that, and she's my cousin, but really, we grew up closer than ever. This is literally my sister. And it was extremely painful to like walk out of that hospital with her without her son. We literally got home and she was like, I want you to bring me back to the baby right now. And I did. I get that. The long nights, the going there in the middle of the night to feed the baby and see the baby, that's a lot. And any mother that has to go through that, and I think you said your daughter was 1 year old when you and your wife were going through that, that is a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah.
And that's crazy that, you know, I so much respect to you guys for going through that and having to deal with that. I ramble a lot when I talk, but I just want to kind of jump into, I got a little emotional at one point. I turned my camera off, then my phone died. Listening to us talk from the postpartum and then into like the children with diagnoses and stuff. Again, I have 3 children and every diagnosis is different, right? So we're talking anything. It doesn't even have to be like autism or ADHD. My daughter is actually diagnosed with epilepsy, and she would have never been diagnosed with epilepsy had she not had a seizure at school. And the type of epilepsy that she has, it's called petit mal seizures. So they're absent seizures. You don't see them. They're like the blank staring seizures. You don't see them unless you know what you're looking for. It presents as daydreaming. So she had like a prolonged daydreaming spell at school. The teacher thought she was being like, you know, not listening, like disobedient. I'm like, lady, you're crazy. I brought her to the doctor. My daughter explained what happened in that moment. She explained that her ears were ringing, and they were like, hey, let's take her to a neurologist just to be on the safe side. Had we never done that, and I didn't have to take his recommendation, I could have said, no, I think we're fine. Like, we'll just go home and have a talk. Had we never done that, I would not know that my daughter has seizures. She could have up to 50 seizures a day. It's insane. And
How old is she?
She's 10. She just turned 10.
Damn.
So, and she got that diagnosis when she was 6. And
How's she doing?
She's amazing. She does amazing. But last year in school, so for years throughout kindergarten up to 4th grade, she's in 5th grade now, I was trying to get her on an IEP. And it was really tough. You know, it was
It's
just,
hard.
oh, well, she doesn't qualify for IEP. So here's a 504 since she has this and this. But
What's a
last year,
504? If you don't mind me asking.
it's like a medical accommodation. You know, so she can have certain accommodations, like she can be, you know, pulled out for small group testing and things of that nature, things that you can get on an IEP without having full access to special education. So that's where 504 and like an IEP kind of differ. You don't get special education to the fullest extent on a 504. It's still great to have, though, I will say that. But last year, my daughter's teacher in 4th grade had noticed that and this is a lady that had 25 students in her classroom. She's like, your daughter is having multiple seizures a day, to a point where I can tell you that it's kind of on a scheduled basis. And she said, and you can see when it's happening, and it's scary. And it took that for her to be able to end up with an IEP, for her one teacher to really just be sitting there and listening to me as a concerned mom and paying attention to my daughter. Out of all 25 students, you know, she's teaching a full class, and she's noticing that my child is there on track, right? Education, academically wise, she's there on track, but she's slipping through the cracks. Like, she's one kid that's just slightly behind that does need that extra help. And so yeah, there is that for starters. So
JFK, make a change. It says Becca. JFK at JFK. Let Becca know there is terrific support groups on Facebook. Make a changes was diagnosed when he was 15. That's Patrick, by the way. He's been boots on the ground for a long time now, so he's a great dude. He's one of our mods. So he can you guys can reach out to each other on Facebook or whatever. If he hits you up, his name's Patrick. Maybe he could guide you in the right direction or give you some information. He's been going through it. But listen, ladies, god damn.
God damn.
Listen, I appreciate all you ladies. Listen, my email's at JFK Show Off at the G Mizil, and I gotta say it like that because maybe the trolls won't catch it. But hit me up. Any of you ladies that want to get on here, like on some frequent stuff, you know, we can like kind of maybe figure something out and like, you know, have get a topic and swing it around. I mean, I like it tonight. It was straight the way it was. You know what I mean? It was awesome. I learned so much tonight. I feel good. I don't feel poisoned like I've been poisoned the last week. I feel nourished.
This was a good release, I think, for a lot of people.
Well, that's why we need our ladies.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, wait. Did someone say releasing ladies? God damn, calm down, JFK. What are you talking about? Holy shit, man. Pause if necessary. But nah, and I mean that with all due respect. I'm just joking. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I appreciate you ladies for coming up here, holding your boys down. Me and Kevby Kev, you guys are great. We're all going through it. We're all parents at the end of the day, and you know, and God got us. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna take you guys, throw you guys backstage, but you guys know my Gmail, and let's keep this going. Let's figure something out. Let's create.
Definitely.
I'll
hit you up.
I just want to
All right,
say
cool.
that anybody that's
Yeah. Before we go, let me swing it around the room. Before we go, let's swing it around the room. Go ahead. I'll start with you. Unforgettable.
Okay.
Last words.
Oh, yep.
My last words, it was a wonderful night, wonderful panel, no stress, just dealing with real life situations, no drama, no nothing. This was amazing, this panel tonight. And all the input everybody gave was just amazing. And I think that just moving forward, that this is a very good idea, JFK.
Appreciate you.
And I love you guys. Thank you for being on with us. It was lovely.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon, Unforgettable.
Definitely.
What's up, NY? Mimi? Is it Mimi? Or
Jimmy, what you
My bad. I can't
talking
see right
about,
now.
my
I can't even see right now, man. I'm looking at that screen. My eyeballs are gonna fall out of my head. Go ahead.
No, you're all good. But you know what? Thank you for hosting this amazing panel. You know, you guys are always 39,000 feet, period, and above all the nonsense. And I'm happy that at least tonight we were able to get together with all these beautiful people in the chat, on the panel, to be able to release some tension and energy and talk about what really matters. And not let that energy kind of be redirected in chaotic tendencies. Like we buckled down on things that a lot of us may be struggling with, that maybe it's not easy for us to talk about. But you know what? God presents an opportunity all the time for us to be able to heal. So I'm happy to have been a part of this. So thank you for allowing us to do this on your page. Thank you.
All day. Thank you. Hilo, is it Hilo girl? Am I saying that wrong? You want to say anything in closing to the chat?
Oh, and by the way, I'm also an Aries.
Oh wow!
Wow, look at that.
Period.
I think this is like compared to the last like few days, much better. I have, as you guys know, I don't know if any of you ladies saw me when I was on the other night, but I'm from Hawaii. I live in Idaho now. And even though I'm in Idaho and I'm not in Massachusetts, like I have a stupid cat. Sorry. She likes walking across my keyboard. Anyway, like this community, like I have a, like I love true crime, but it's more than that. Like I went to school to be a paralegal. Unfortunately, I didn't finish, but I just have this, like, I talk about it a lot, and that being able to be involved in this community, like as a whole, like has been has given my husband a break for one, because he's been hearing about it. Like you have no idea. And my friends that I play video games with, because that's my other outlet. And but like yeah, it's been great either
I
way.
I appreciate you, and we'll do it again for sure. What's up, Becca? You know Becca. Becca's gonna become a host up here real soon, because we need a, we need to keep her going, with this whole Francis thing, and because we've been, and I didn't like people name dropping Francis with this bullshit. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't deserve it. And
Yeah.
Becca's family don't deserve it at all. Oh, what's up with his boy Jigger? And I don't want to get down there. It's like, hey, listen, you know what? If you ain't covering the case, please don't call him Jigger. His name is Francis to you. But
Right.
anyway, Becca, go ahead and speak. You want to say something to the chat?
And don't say Jigga's name like it's a disease too, because that
Yeah,
is what I heard happen, and I didn't like it.
yeah.
Right.
It was bad. It
So
was bad. But let's keep
I
it
was
positive. Go ahead, Becca. Go
right.
ahead.
Exactly. But what I did want to say is that it's like a repetitive thing, but to anybody that's out there that wants to follow along, I have one Facebook page, and it's Justice for Francis Jigalotti, and that's where you'll get updates. Anything that comes from family, from our lawyer, any updates. Right now, we're at a point where it's like really stale, and there's no answer. But well, I mean, it was really stale, like meaning we weren't getting any information. The unfortunate passing of this officer Tully, first of all, this has played in my emotions so hard. I'm a very intuitive and empathetic person. I feel other people's emotions, like across the room, through a screen. I can feel you, and I feel for you. My heart bleeds for her family, right? But I'm hoping that with this, everything happens for a reason, like we had said earlier. I hope that with this, it's going to be a push for answers. It's going to be a push for accountability. It's going to be a push for justice. I saw Officer Tully's father make a comment today, and it brought me to tears. He said, "The death of this man will not be swept under the rug." So that's powerful to me, coming from the father of one of the officers that was involved. The officer who did play the smallest role in all of this passed away from what the family says is a stress-induced heart attack, after having a closed door conversation with police. There's a lot of information that I'm just now finding out about that I can share on the Facebook page. It's startling to me. So I'm on a little ramble, sorry, here with my goodbyes. But what I'm trying to say is that that's all
That's
I
all
really
right.
have for updates right now. And it's just as frustrating for me as it is for everybody else, because I want to share everything that I can, but right now there's nothing. Like, we're just so frustrated and so tired of it, and I think that we just need people to show up this Saturday to the protests. The more people that are pushing and putting pressure on these people, meaning the DA, the chief of police.
Yes.
I mean,
Accountability,
um,
accountability.
right. That's what we need. We need this pressure on them. So I just urge anybody that can and wants to, please show up. Show your support. If you can't show up, join the Facebook page, send a heart, you know what I mean? My mother sees everything. My aunt sees what she can, because she's on and off the internet. It's hard for her to process all of this, but she was the one that was left behind. That was her only surviving child. And I just really, her on top of all of us. But I mean, I speak for her when I get on these shows. And I just want to wrap up by saying, too, something I did forget to say is that before you, JFK, I didn't get on a single camera. I didn't I talked to the news people. I talked to them, but I said, don't put a camera in my face. I can't handle that. I'm too anxious. They're very Fox 25, WBZ, they want to put cameras in your face. You know, they don't really care about like what you're feeling in the time. You were very respectful with how you approached my family and how you treated us with compassion. You know, I was hesitant, but you're the first person that I talked to on camera and was like, let's get this out there.
And just to you know, add to what you said, it's like, listen, you know, we don't have no answers yet, but as long as you're present, you know, that's just a huge statement, you know, and we're gonna be here, we're gonna figure it out, and they're gonna have to answer us sooner or later. That's a fact.
You know, you've been a big voice for Francis, and you know, let me tell you something. He knows it.
Oh, he knows it for sure. And Yaya, my girl, Yaya, what's up, girl? What you want to say in closing?
Well, Becca, kind of, you know, most importantly, you know, was it a year and a half ago? You know, they didn't know what was going on with the Sandra Birchmore thing. And not to say that it's made huge jumps, but there's been a little bit of accountability, a few more answers, you know, and then, you know, I know it's not my family member, but patience sucks. But hopefully, you know, with the time, there'll just be more accountability and some more answers. For everybody, for all of you guys, I don't have children, I nanny, but to hear all of you talk about your kids and advocating for them, you know, I've worked with some great families, and I've worked with some, you know, families who didn't acknowledge their kids that had issues. And as coming from a family, you know, where my brother was born at 7 months. So I was 8 years older than him. So I remember a lot, right? He was in the NICU. He was on
So
one
moms and dad started over, huh? So you were 8 and he was 7 months, you said? Wow.
I was 8. He was born at 7 months instead of 9. But like, you know, my mom, she works for special needs too. So like she had to advocate. So listening to all of you guys talk about advocating and doing what you can for your kid, it's just amazing. It really is. It's like, it's awesome. But other than that, you know, I think tonight was great. Thank you, J.F.K. and Kevby Kev, James Jackson, wherever you are. We miss you.
He's working too. He's running across 3 lanes.
Always in 3 lanes, right?
He's a journalist.
He's a journalist. He's fighting corruption.
But yeah, no, this was awesome. And thank you so much for letting me come on.
Absolutely. Ladies, I appreciate all y'all for taking the time rocking out with me. And I'm going to put you guys backstage and you guys can sign out or whatever you want. But listen, I'm going to end the show. But you guys got my email. Hit me up for sure. The ladies run this. Shh. Remember what I said. This is your chat, people. And I'll talk to you guys. And me and Kev's going to wrap it up. Thank you, ladies, so much. All right.
Thank you. Good night,
Peace
everyone.
and love. Peace and love. Awesome. 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 Oh, I love it. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's what you need sometimes, right, Kevy Kev? We had Jimmy T up here. Don't forget about Jimmy T from the LY Double.
That's
breaking down the laws.
Shout
I mean,
out to
Jimmy's smart. He loves the law, Jimmy, man. Jimmy's shot, man, when it comes to the law.
Lived the law, man.
He lived it. Facts. He lived it. But yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll tell you, we needed this, man. We needed to, you know, step out of the box for a couple minutes, you know, and talk about some reality.
Yeah, and this is reality. This is what I think that, you know, we can't be dictated to. And I don't mean to say, and I'm not throwing no shots when I say that. I mean, just with anything. I think that, you know, when we have an audience, we got to let the audience speak. You got to pass the mic. And we got a huge lady audience, and you got to take the temperature of the room. I think that we've been taken among ourselves as creators, and I'll just take for me that, you know, what we do that they need to listen to. Now, I'm going to open up the phone lines, so to speak, and I'm going to hear what you guys got to say, and we can swing the conversation around. You know, you can't do that on the phone, right? You know, if I took phone calls tonight, we couldn't. This would have never happened. So when people say that's drama when you open up a panel, yeah, we had some clowns that jumped in here, but think about that. We just had, I think, 5 women up here that like broke down life. So if you don't, if you're against that and you got a problem with that, you know, and we didn't plan this. This is God's plan. This is the way things go sometimes. Real recognizes real. It's just the way what we attract. And, you know, and if you think you could do it, then do it. You could try it, you know, but you might not get the same result because we are who we are, playboys, you know, and that's just the way it goes. And like I said, It's all positive, but it just is what it is. And I'm happy. And I'm happy that it turned out that way. And that's what I was looking for. I took the opportunity and I lived with the result.
And the people in the chat too, all night, you know, so much, you know, positive comments, you know, they might not have had a chance to get up here, or they might not want to come up here and be in the box, but
right.
I'll tell you, I mean, I just, you know, I've been watching these comments and you know,
everybody
was feeling it tonight. You know, they needed this. We all needed this, you know?
Yeah. Especially you ladies. I mean, I think that's a huge thing.
Big time.
You
Big
ladies,
time.
you ladies run this movement. And we never can forget that. We're blessed to have, you know, you got to know your audience. And that's just a factual statement. And to overlook that and act like, you know, we could just talk the way we want to talk and act the way we want to act. Now we got to take accountability. And I started the live saying, I'm sorry that I put you guys through. I'm more sorry to all you people who stick by me. I'm sorry that I put you through. You seeing JFK yell, swear, cuss, you know, arguing with fools, man. Because when you're arguing with fools from far away, you can't tell who's the fool, right? So we all know who the fools.
But
we all know who the fools are. You know.
You know, I want to jump in there real quick. I mean, JFK, man. You know, when you know, past couple nights that you've been, you know, we've had this situation of yeah, you're saying to the people right now, you know, they heard you yell, they heard you, you know, get loud. All I heard, bro, was passion, bro.
Thank you.
All right, passion about you know, just being a voice that needs to be heard. And I mean, no one can take that shit away from you, bro.
I appreciate that.
You know?
Hey, I just try to do the right thing, man. That's what my heart told, you know, my heart, you know, I just go with instinct. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. And I'm not going to be silenced, and I'm not going to let anybody else be silenced. You know, like we all can talk about it, and, you know, and we could talk about it in a respectful way. We don't have to disrespect nobody to talk about how we feel about how things are and currently are moving in the movement, if you want to call it that, you know. And I still would call it that, you know. Like I said, I mean, there's them, you know, the people who see things the way they see things, and then there's us. And I'm not telling you to pick and choose. I'm just saying I'm okay with that. And anybody over here that comes over here to get your dose of what we do, that's okay too. I'm not mad. Go anywhere you want. But you know what you're getting when you come over here, and that's all I can say about that, you know. Well, with that being said, I go by the name of JFK.
And I go by Kevby Kev.
And every little step we take, ladies, because the ladies run this shit. Let's go, Kevby Kev. One time. Let's go. We'll see you guys next time.
going down, but I have to do this out here. Why you my weapon? But it's going to let us go. Hey man, wanna talk shit on internet? Then you call me homie, and you don't even know. You see this dude on your screen, think you know the real me, man. You can just blow me. You all in your cute little studio, act like you on the streets, call me bro. Wanna be some big YouTube star while I'm keeping it real. Hell man, I'm here in my car, fighting the fight, doing it every night. Fight fiction with fact, we ain't pulling no curtain back. Think it's all about us, no man is bigger. Tell you right now, it's all about Jigger. Fighting the fight, doing it every night. Fight fiction with fact, we ain't pulling no curtain back. Think it's all about us, no man is bigger. Tell you right now, it's all about Jigger. Someone's hurt your feelings, man. Well, at